future. Talks between Texas State and the Pac-12 have intensified in the last 24 hours. It is finally here, the NBA draft tonight. Spurs hold the second and 14 picks as of right now. Spurs are expected to select Rutgers guard Dylan Harper with that second pick.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Hump Day, everybody. It is Wednesday, but a very special Wednesday, obviously, because, well, it's NBA Draft Day. Finally, the NBA Draft Day has come around, and it is upon us, and there's no better place to be than the Roo Pub. That is where we're at today, broadcasting live, 281 and Redland Road. It is your NBA Draft headquarters. You need to get down here and get a seat and get ready for tonight. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix with the day off today, but I tell you what, he is missing out because there are so many things going on today. It is incredible. Already we're hearing reports of teams on the move, trying to make deals, doing deals, and I think it's going to be that way the entire day, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Because we need something, don't we? I mean, there's really no drama as it appears right now, unless something miraculous happens and the Spurs make a trade for that second overall pick. It looks like it's going to be Dylan Harper that will come here to San Antonio. So really no intrigue for the first 2 picks of tonight's draft. Now, that 14th pick that the Spurs hold, there could be some intrigue to that. There could be some movement on that. We'll have to wait and see, but it's going to be a fun day, so buckle up, tune in, and get ready to go. Now, if you were with us just at the top of the hour, the breaking news about Texas State, we've been talking about this for a little while, but Pete Thamel's reporting that the Bobcats have already informed the Sun Belt they're expecting an offer from the Pac-12 in the near future. So it looks like Texas State is going to be headed to the revised Big 12 conference, which is going to be good for them. And we talked about the TV deal yesterday with CBS. And so all of those things, looks like Texas State is going to be on the move. Today, though, it's all about the draft. And it is just an incredible excitement here. I don't know about you guys, but I feel really excited about what's going to happen tonight. And again, no intrigue, which is kind of disappointing in a way. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's kind of disappointing in a way that you already know who the Spurs are going to select, at least as we sit here right now. Unless something crazy happens, it will be Dylan Harper. We're going to speak with the head coach of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights coming up here in a little while at the bottom of the hour. Steve Pikel is the head coach there. We're going to talk to him about Dylan Harper and what kind of player he is and what kind of human being he is off the court. Can't wait to talk to Steve Pikel. That'll be coming up here at 2:30 or so, right around there. So stay tuned for that because that's going to be interesting. And we'll gain some insight on the new player that it appears the Spurs are going to have here in San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama, I don't know if you heard this as well. He has decided not to play this summer with the Team France in Eurobasket. And I couldn't be more thrilled about that. Now, I understand that's a big deal for those guys and they want to do it. But with him coming off the blood clots, him coming off everything he's got to do, I think this is a great thing. And I don't know if it was maybe Monkville, his visit there and shaving his head and getting some wisdom and all of that. I don't know. But I think it's a very wise decision. He says he wants to be ready for the 25-26 season. Shows a lot of maturity for that young man to have his focus on where his bread is buttered, so to speak, and that is the NBA right now and the money that he's making and certainly will be making coming up here in the future. But Victor Wembanyama not going to play or do anything this summer with anybody else. He's just going to get ready, rehabilitate, get ready for the season, and possibly a new teammate or 2 or 3. Who knows what's going to happen, what's going to shake out. Now, we've got the draft tonight. So we'll see what the Spurs do in the draft. But then you got the free agency period, which begins June 30th. So a lot going on. We get the excitement of tonight, and then you start looking forward to the free agency period and what will the Spurs may or may not do. I don't know. It's a good time to be an NBA basketball fan, certainly a Spurs fan, because the Spurs have a lot of ammo to do whatever they happen to want to do. Draft tonight, again, how do you feel about it? Because are you excited that you know already who the Spurs are going to take, or would you like that little intrigue? I always kind of like the intrigue, but I don't think we're going to have that. Now, I would love to sit here, I don't know, in about 5 minutes or so and say, oh, the Spurs have pulled off one heck of a deal, and the price that they wanted for that number 2 pick has been paid by X. I would love to see that. I would love to see something like that happen. Now, it's nothing against Dylan Harper. That's not what I'm saying, but just for the intrigue, just for the drama, just to add to what is already a big day here in San Antonio. I just think it would be a lot of fun. Again, I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. So you got to stay tuned. You got to look at stuff. You got to be ready for anything like that, especially with all the movement. Now, Pledge, who is James Pledger is here, by the way, even though Minix is not. Pledge came to work today, so I appreciate that, Pledge.
Well,
but you were telling me that the Chicago Bulls are looking to make a deal as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff flying around the internet right now. I've seen that the Chicago Bulls put Nikola Vucevic on the market to try and move him. Domantas Sabonis is apparently available from the Kings, along with DeMar DeRozan. And I even saw a report not too long ago that Mikal Bridges and one of the other Knicks may be available. And they just acquired Mikal Bridges for 5 first-round picks.
Maybe buyer's remorse there. I don't know. Maybe that could be what it is. But I think anything's on the table today. I think with the way that this is shaking out, with the way the NBA is going right now, you can change your fortunes in a season. I don't think you have to wait 2 or 3 years to build a team anymore. If you want to and you're so inclined to do it, I think you can go out and make things happen where your team goes from not very good to pretty good and a contender. And I just think that's the way the NBA is right now, and I think that's why you're going to see some moves happen. We've already talked about Philadelphia. They inquired about the Spurs number 2 pick. That was early on in the process, and it never went anywhere, but it appears that they even want to move up. And, of course, they want Dylan Harper, it appears. That's who they want.
I also saw a report they are looking to move Paul George and are willing to attach that number 3 pick to move it.
Wow, to move up, 2 or 1 even? Is that what you're saying?
No, to move back.
Oh, to move back.
Like, to get Paul George's contract off their books, they're willing to attach the number 3 pick.
Wow. Wouldn't that be something? Boy, I don't know how that would shake out. Can you imagine? That'd be kind of like the Texans a couple, 2 or 3 years ago, doing that and making the trade to get C.J. Stroud. And, that's incredible. Man, that would be something. Look, I guarantee you, something is going to happen today. Something big. Now, I don't know if it's going to involve the San Antonio Spurs, but I have a feeling before the show is over, before the draft takes place tonight, we get you started at 6:30, by the way. Before all of that happens, I have a feeling we're going to be talking about something special and a big deal or two that has come out. And that's what's got me very excited about what we're talking about. It's incredible. If you're listening on YouTube, we appreciate that. You can subscribe and like our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. I see Justin Guerrero there. He says, I saw Minix on a plane. Well, where the hell are you, Justin? So maybe that will give us an idea about where Minix is. Actually, he was flying out to the Great Northwest to see all his wife's family. It's his wife's family reunion that they're going to be doing this week. And if I'm not mistaken, they're already there. So they're already partying with the family there. So we'll wish him the best and hope he makes out okay with all the wife's family there. But if you're on YouTube, we do appreciate that. You can like, you can comment there and all that kind of stuff. If you're out driving around and you want to call in, we still do the old-fashioned way. That's for sure. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can call and comment and make your voice heard. I'm really curious, Spurs fans, if tonight is exciting for you, or the fact that it appears at least 99% chance that the Spurs are going to take Dylan Harper. Does that kind of, I don't know, throw a rug over the excitement a little bit? Or are you okay with that? I'd like to hear what you have to say. You can also get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210 and tell me what you think there, or any other question, comment, criticism. I don't really give a damn. Just participate. Let's have some fun today, because after all, it is Hump Day.
Hump Day.
That's right, it is, and it is the NBA Draft Day as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Now, when we come back, Dylan Harper was at the NBA Draft Media Day yesterday, and a lot of cool, a lot of things that he said. He sounds like a really good young man. I mean, like, he's got his head on his shoulders correct. He's got he's got a good attitude. He's personable. All of the things that would make him fit well, I think, here in San Antonio with an organization like the San Antonio Spurs. And keep in mind, and don't forget, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk to Steve Pikel. He is the head coach at Rutgers, and he's going to tell us all about Dylan Harper and what kind of a young man he is, what kind of a player he is, and who knows what else he might tell us about Dylan Harper. Well, when we come back, we will hear from the man himself, Dylan Harper. That's right. When we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 from the Roo Pub, by the way, come join us out here at 281 and Redland Road.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Do you want the lowest prices on wines and champagne shipped right to your door? TotalWine.com, America's largest independent wine retailer, ships to Eugene and Springfield. Explore our vast selection of over 8,000 wines and find something you love, all at the lowest prices for over 30 years. Whether you're looking to enjoy a full-bodied Cabernet from Paso or crisp Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, TotalWine.com has you covered with great wines and Grand Cru champagne shipped right to your door. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Shipping available on wine and champagne only. Drink responsibly. B21.
Macy's lowest prices of the summer on furniture and mattresses are here, which means you'll find great July 4th deals now on beautiful home updates, like the 7-piece Whitburn outdoor dining set, $19.99. Customer favorites like the Radley sectional, now $21.79, and 20 to 65% off top mattress brands like Sealy. And with Macy's white glove delivery, we'll set it all up and whisk away all that packaging too. But hurry in, these summer deals are going on now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with One Plus. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Live from the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road, best place in the world for big events. And, of course, we're here at the Roo Pub because the big event tonight, it is NBA Draft Day. San Antonio with the 2nd overall pick and the 14th overall pick. Now, we kind of think we know what's happening in number 2, but I don't think anybody knows what might happen at number 14 and what direction the Spurs might go. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. And, again, already a lot of buzz on the internet when it comes to other teams out there that are looking to make deals, perhaps move up, perhaps do whatever it is they want to do to benefit their teams. Now, several teams picking in the top 10 of the draft have already made, according to reports from Wendy, for Jaylen Brown and Derrick White of the Boston Celtics. And I find that interesting. Now, I don't know if Derrick White would be a top 10 trade guy. I'm not sure I would go that far. Now, Jaylen Brown, on the other hand, would be. It will be interesting. The report today that I find fascinating, and I love it, is that the Oklahoma City Thunder, fresh off an NBA championship, are looking to jump into the top 10 tonight. And that's from Sports Illustrated today. And I find that fascinating. And what's fascinating and really kind of thrilling about it is the fact that they just won a championship, and they're looking to get better. They're looking to get better immediately after hoisting the NBA trophy. And I love that. I love that. The Nets are also eyeing draft day trades. The report says with the 76ers, perhaps with the Hornets. I think they like Ace Bailey. That's who they are looking at. But they've also contacted, we understand, the Spurs as well. So Brooklyn, they've got a lot of assets that might fit in very nicely in San Antonio. So that was intriguing. And there's going to be a lot of other things like that coming out today. Pledge told you earlier about the Chicago Bulls perhaps shopping some players and trying to do something in tonight's draft. And I think everybody, the phones are buzzing around NBA headquarters all over the place this afternoon as we approach the draft coming up tonight. Now, if things go chalk, and it appears that they will, I was skeptical early on, but the more you get into this process, the more you realize that Dylan Harper, the Spurs are in love with him, and it looks like that's where they're going to go with this whole thing. So Dylan Harper was at the NBA Media Days yesterday, and Yeah, he's a very intriguing young man. I mean, he really is. Just listening to him, you've seen him play on the court, but it's always that, what's he like off the court? He seems like a very smart, intelligent, intriguing young guy. The first question he was asked today, just his thoughts overall on the San Antonio Spurs.
I mean, they were great. I mean, great organization, great people all around, from top to bottom. I guess they just want to check me out again. I mean, I love the people, love the coaching staff, love the manager, everything about them. So, I mean, they got a really good program. They got a really good thing going on over there.
Well, I would say they do, and it's a good place for young people like yourself. He did come and work out for the Spurs. He was one of a handful of guys that came down here and worked out, and he was asked about how that went.
I mean, it was great. I mean, it was definitely like the workout there was definitely one of my first NBA workout, so I kind of didn't know what to expect. But, they greeted me with open arms and they let me make mistakes and just let me be me.
Well, that's interesting. And I think the Spurs have been in love with this guy since they found out that they've got the number 2 pick. Now, I'm sure they were in love with him before that, but I'm just saying when they finally realized that we can get this guy, they were locked in. So props to all of you that said it's a lock and it's going that way, although it hasn't happened yet. But it looks like 99.9% chance that is going to be the way that the Spurs go with that second overall pick. Again, I went back and watched him because, look, full transparency, and I'll be honest with you, but since his name has come up as a potential Spurs guy, I've been watching quite a bit, and he's impressive. I mean, the guy's impressive. Still not the best shooter in the world. And that could be a bit of a problem, but who knows? That could change. I mean, he's a young kid. He can work on that. But when you see the moves that this young man has, the moves on the floor and what he can do and how he does it, and I know there's been a lot of comparisons to James Harden. Cade Cunningham's another guy that comes to mind that he's been compared to, and all of that's great. But I think Dylan Harper is going to be Dylan Harper and make his own name. But just what he can do is fantastic. And we know what kind of a basketball player he is if you've seen any of it. But who is he really?
Who I am as a person, when times get tough versus when times is always all-time high. So just being the same guy through thick and thin, and just always trying to help wherever I can.
Always trying to help out wherever he can. Now, if that's accurate, and I have no reason to doubt that it's not, he's going to fit right in here in San Antonio. All of us know, being around the San Antonio Spurs, that this team is one of those teams that's it likes to get involved in the community, and they like to do things outside of basketball and help with things. And he seems like he is he's going to fit right into that mold of the San Antonio Spurs. His goals, well, they're pretty simple. All he says he wants to do is be the best.
The way to be the best is to play with the best and against the best. So just, for me, just playing with the best players all around and just being one of those guys that can fit in, even if you have to sacrifice, still sacrifice.
Sacrifice. I mean, you got to figure the kid's saying all the right things. So at least he's got the interview process down. That is absolutely accurate and true. He's got that interview process down. He knows what to say, and in that part of it, he's in pretty good shape. I found it quite interesting though, because we all know about his dad, Ron Harper, NBA basketball player, but Dylan says it was actually his mom that taught him everything.
I mean, I got a bunch of stories. I mean, I got a story like sophomore year. No, that's junior year. It was first game junior year. I must have been playing terrible. Like, she is cursing me out on the sideline. And, like, there's a video. You can see my face, and I look so mad. And then I don't think I talked to her for the next, 3 days until we had another game, and then I played well, and I was like, I'm good now.
How has she shaped you as a player? She's the first one that put a ball in your hands, right?
I mean, she didn't let me shoot a jump shot until, 5th, 6th grade. So, I mean, those all getting to the basket. No, there was no jump shots. So, I mean, just stuff like that. Just my ability to get to the rim. I think that's where I really get it from.
That explains a lot about why he's not a great shooter. She wouldn't let him shoot. Now, he can certainly get to the basket. He can do that. And he's a hell of a passer, too, by the way. I don't know. Different body types, so just go with me on this. But a lot of it reminds me of a Tony Parker type player. Different body types. I know that Harper's taller. His body's a little bit bigger, but getting to the basket and having no fear about getting inside and getting to the basket, I think are similarities that those two have in common, no doubt. Now, Dylan Harper likes, unfortunately, the number 2. And that could be a problem for a lot of Spurs fans, including me. I'm not fond of that number necessarily, but it's his number. He likes it. And he was talking the other day about wearing number 2 here in San Antonio.
I mean, if they draft me, I hope so, because that's the number I look forward to wearing to. So, I mean, definitely.
Would that be a problem for Spurs fans out there? Now, I know a lot of you have already gotten over the original number 2 as he imploded this Spurs team, but would it be a problem for you if Dylan Harper comes in here and wears the number 2, or is that kind of like a rehabilitation for that number here in San Antonio?
Are we just going to burn the number and nobody's ever allowed to wear it again?
Yes, that's what I'd like to do to it.
Why?
Well, because
don't you want to get the stink off of that number?
I don't know if there's getting the stink off of it, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's the good part about this. If Harper wants number 2, it's his. If the Spurs will give it to him, there's no reason not to. They're not going to put that thing up in the rafters. So, I mean, they're not. Even though Kawhi, that guy, did a lot of good things while he was here, but he also did a lot of bad things too. So they're not going to hang that thing in the rafters of the Frost Bank Center. So if Harper wants number 2, they're going to give it to him.
I mean, they might hang it when Harper's done with it.
Well, when Harper's done with it, that's fine. As long as it has Harper's last name on the back of it, that I'm good with that. And if he does everything that he has the potential to do and that what everybody thinks he's going to do here.
Isn't this part of moving on? Like when you're with a girl, right, Joe? And y'all break up and it's bad and it's tumultuous. Isn't part of it moving on, getting with another girl to kind of just get rid of that memory?
Yeah, as long as that girl's not wearing the ex's clothes. Yeah, that's excellent. Yes, if she goes and gets the wardrobe of the ex and starts wearing it around, then I got a problem with that. So yeah, I mean, that's the issue that I have with it. But again, if he wants number 2, he's going to get number 2, and it will be okay. So a fresh start, I'll look at it that way.
I'm just trying to understand Spurs fans' mentality, because there are a lot like you that I know that would rather just number 2 was no longer ever given out by the Spurs and forgotten it was ever even a number 2 be had.
Well, I would like for that jersey number to be cremated.
That's what I'm saying.
That it would never be worn again in San Antonio.
That line of thinking from Spurs fans. I want to make sure that the next person got into that jersey and made me forget all about whoever wore it previously.
He's going to wear number 2. If that's what he wants, that's what he's going to get. If he is a Spur, which everybody thinks he's going to be, he's going to get that number and he'll wear it, and he'll wear it proudly, and hopefully we'll do a lot of good things with that number 2 and make us forget about the original number 2, and that will help. Obviously, that will help. But man, it's just that's a hard one for me, and I get it. I understand, fresh start. I get it, but just to remember, the reason the Spurs are in the situation they're in now, or one of them for sure, is because of that guy. And they've never been able to recover. I know the Spurs tried to just add some pieces, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan, but that never really worked out. And then that's when they finally decided they were going to just crash the whole thing and start over. And that's what they've done. And that's turned out pretty well, I have to admit, with the addition of Victor Wembanyama. Now, Stephon Castle, who was really great out of the blocks last year. Hopefully, Dylan Harper will be that same guy, and he can hit the ground running and go. And fitting those guys in, I think, is going to be the only issue that Mitch Johnson has to deal with when it comes to these guys, because obviously all 3 of them are talented. So how do you use them? And that's going to really show us a lot, I think, about Mitch Johnson, about his coaching prowess, how he uses those 3 individuals who, in my mind, in a lot of ways, are basically the same guy. So I don't know. We will see. We'll see how that works, but I don't know. It's the NBA, right? Yeah. Positionless basketball is what they say, although you still need some of those positions, and you still need guys that can shoot the basketball. I mean, that is kind of the name of the game, is it not, Pledge? I mean, really?
It is. And I'm going to be very intrigued to see how this works out, but his body type being almost 6'7", Steph Castle being 6'5", both of them being bigger guys, I think allows them to guard bigger guys, which makes them more positionless in their ability to play off the ball while De'Aaron Fox runs the show.
Well, it's going to be interesting because if there's anything that I've learned about Dylan Harper over the last couple of weeks, it is that he can get to the basket. He can create inside and either dish or get to the hoop and score. And he's really good at that. He's really good at that. And being left-handed, maybe that gives him a little bit of an advantage. I don't know. There aren't too many lefties in the NBA that I'm aware of.
You did say he was a lot like Tony Parker in his game. Maybe he's a mix of Parker and Ginobili with the left-handedness as well.
Wow. Now, see, that would be a pretty good baby to have, wouldn't it? If you've got a baby there, Manu and Tony have a baby, and then you get Dylan Harper. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Perhaps it is. We will see. And he's going to wear number 2. So I'm going to have to get over that. It might take a while, so bear with me. It might take a while. We know Dylan Harper, if you've seen him play, if you've watched highlights extensively like I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, we know this young man is talented, uber talented. But I want to get to know him a little bit. So we decided to reach out to his college coach. Steve Pikel is going to join us next here on the Blitz. We are live at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. That's where we are. No better place to watch tonight's draft than here at the Roo Pub. You know it's going to be covered with Spurs fans, that's for sure. So get in here and have some fun here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Steve Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, draft day come and gone. Let's talk about the Spurs haul. We're only halfway done. There is a day 2. We'll look at where they're headed in that direction and around the rest of the league. But to start early, you got to get here. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Your marriage is over. You know it. Your friends know it. Take back control now with Barton & Associates, an aggressive, no-nonsense team of attorneys ready to fight for what you deserve. Contact us today at TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Imagine owning coastal land with ocean views and world-class fishing just off Matagorda Bay. Well, dream no more. This Saturday, mark your calendars for a pre-4th of July one-day coastal land sale at Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. We're unveiling incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1+ acre bay access from $49.9, waterfront properties starting at $99.9, or with a barn dominium from just $169.9. Wow! This gated community boasts a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch with paved roads and underground utilities. It's all happening this Saturday. 1+ acre bay access from $49.9, waterfront properties from $99.9, with barn dominium for only $169.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing is available. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Freedom starts with land, and land like this won't last long.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
Are you a chronic interrupter? Incapable of letting other people talk? Do those people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have a 120-night sleep trial, so you can get your money back if a bed's not right. That way anyone, even someone like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
It is finally here. It is draft day for the NBA, and a lot of excitement for the San Antonio Spurs with the number 2 overall pick. By all indications, it is going to be Dylan Harper out of Rutgers will be the selection at number 2. So we thought we'd go and get to talk to a guy that knows him perhaps maybe better than any of us do, and that's his head coach at Rutgers, Steve Pikel. He's joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Coach Pikel, first of all, we appreciate you taking some time to join us here on the Blitz.
Hey, excited to be on.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. We've all seen Dylan Harper play. We know what he's like on the basketball floor. Very talented young man, obviously, but what is Dylan Harper like off the basketball court?
Well, first of all, the Spurs are a first-class organization, and Dylan Harper is a first-class young man. Great family, obviously, unbelievable bloodlines. His dad was an all-time great, and I actually got to coach his brother, Ron, who's with the Detroit Pistons for 4 years, and had a great college career. Is going to be a good pro, too. And Dylan, just more of the same, of a hard-working family, loves basketball. He is awesome off the court, very involved in the community, going to cancer centers, going to hospitals, going into schools, reading, having clinics and doing clinics for, his hometown and, all kinds of different stuff that he's involved with. So, you're going to find him really personable, funny, and on the court you'll realize quickly how talented he is, and he is very talented for a young player.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Pikel, you just watch. You don't have to watch long to see that he is incredibly talented. When you get him on the floor, is there anything that you limit him doing? It just seems like he can do just about everything.
I mean, he, and I only had him for 9 months. I wish the old days I would have kept him for 2 or 3 years maybe. So, but in that time frame, I mean, first of all, he's in the gym and he's been working out with pros his whole life. One of the advantages of having a brother in the NBA and a father, he's been to all the camps, Steph Curry camp and the Chris Paul camp and the travels and the McDonald's All-American game and the Jordan Brand game. So he's played pros almost his whole life. And what he does well is he can really score the basketball at the rim. He's a lefty, but he's just as good with his right hand. He has a unique knack of finishing at the rim around shot blockers. I've never been around a player like that, and I played at UConn, and I was on some staffs at UConn with a lot of pros, and never quite saw a kid, get in traffic and be able to finish the way this kid can. And then he's a very good passer, great IQ. He's 6'6". He's got a terrific body, and his teammates are going to love him. He can defend. He can shoot the ball too, and has worked very hard, at that, and can play a lot of positions. So Spurs are getting a really versatile guy who's a winner, likes the last shot too. Will take it. Has great nerves, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with him. He's really, really a fun guy to be around, and an excellent basketball player.
Yeah, Coach, I know that a lot of Spurs fans are excited to get Dylan Harper in a Spurs uniform. We're visiting with Steve Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers. And Coach, one of the things that people concern themselves with, some Spurs fans and others, that he comes into a situation here in San Antonio where there's Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. So you've got maybe it's rich people problems. I don't know, but you got a lot of guards that are very similar in that respect. Do you think Dylan would have any problem fitting into a group like that?
As a matter of fact, I think he's like the perfect fit, between those two players. He really is. I mean, he's got elite size, so he's big. He can play off the ball, around the ball. He can defend multiple positions. He's a big-time scorer, but when I needed him to be a big-time playmaker, he has the talent and the ability to pass the ball at a high level. And with Victor and with the guys you have around, very willing passer and a terrific basketball IQ. So, I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. He's going to find his way on the court, and he'll fit seamlessly. He's a good teammate too, and he'll like playing with those guys. And I think they'll all like playing with him.
Coach Pikel, I wonder, did he ever talk to you about his life in the NBA and maybe where would be a good fit for him? Did you guys ever have those conversations?
You know what? I tell you what, he's such a unique kid. I mean, he wasn't one of those kids, I've known him since he was really little. Like I said, we had Ron on the team, his brother. So I saw him kind of grow up from, 7th, 8th grade, on, and he was one of those kids that wasn't highly rated. Like, he wasn't one of those guys. He just worked and moved up the rankings to be, I think he was the best freshman in college. He was the MVP of the McDonald's game and the Jordan Brand game, which everyone played in, and he was on the USA national team. So playing against all of these guys, and was the, leading scorer there too. So, watching him grow through the years, just saw him just keep fighting and working hard to play in the NBA. And that was always his dream. He kind of grew up around it. And, I think the icing on the cake is to play for an organization like the Spurs, that first class, good basketball people. They'll appreciate his basketball knowledge, and in a great city. And I know he's very, very excited. And, his dream is just to, play in that league, and the bonus you get to go to a team like that with Victor and Castle and all these terrific players.
No doubt. We're visiting with Coach Steve Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers. And Coach, I find it funny. I know he was at Media Day yesterday. Dylan was, and he was talking about his mom's influence on his game. Said she taught him quite a bit. Were you able to see some of that?
Oh, his mom's a star too. First of all, one of the best parents I've ever dealt with. I've been coaching now for 33 years. Really did an unbelievable job with all of her kids. But does it in the right way. Like, drives them and demands a lot, and wants them to be really good, but wants them to be first class. And she was a player herself. The dad gets a lot of accolades. The mom was a very good player, and she's a very good coach. She's been the high school coach there and is an assistant. She's run her own AAU programs. So, she's a wonderful mom. I think she's enjoying just being a mom right now, and going to continue being a mom. And she really helped mold him, into the player and more importantly, the person that he is.
Coach Pikel, when you first saw Dylan and he got on the court, and obviously you've seen him grown up as you've mentioned, but did it ever surprise you just the talent that he displayed and some of the things that he could do? Did any of that ever surprise you?
You know what? I just kept seeing him grow with his game, so I got a unique perspective. As a freshman, seeing his body grow, him becoming a really good defender. If you were the McDonald's All-American game, he was by far the best defender on the floor. His shot and his shot selection, and then, he just continues to grow too physically. I mean, these kids are young, 18 years old when they played for me. So his shoulders are getting bigger. I mean, he has a chance to continue to keep growing. But I've seen his game evolve to the point where, he could play obviously against anybody at any time, and he's got a real competitiveness, a quiet confidence and a competitiveness that's going to help him, succeed for a long time, playing basketball. And I think he's going to do some tremendous things for the Spurs.
Steve Pikel joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And, Coach, before I let you go, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Ace Bailey. And obviously, you could have two players in the top 5 tonight. That has certainly been out there in some of the mock drafts. What is Ace like?
Ace, high energy, awesome, an awesome kid, but, huge smile. But again, another kid as a freshman, I saw him early on and just kept, getting better. Loves the gym, but truly one of the most exciting players in the draft. I mean, does things that block shots and dunks and quick release on his threes. Can get a shot off at any time. And truly long wingspans. Has a chance. I think one GM said by the most upside, and I would agree has as much upside as anybody in this year's draft class, and just another first class kid, and one high school. This is the great part about these two kids. One high school in a day and age where some kids have gone to 7. One high school, one AAU program, one university. So. They got a little old school in them, both kids, and I think that old school is going to help them, in this new school world.
Well, Coach Pikel, I would assume you're a very proud man today. The NBA draft is going to have Rutgers written all over it.
It's a great day for Rutgers, which is a great university with great people and top 15 public university. So 90,000 applicants this year to get into Rutgers. So these guys help the application pool a ton.
No doubt about it. Coach Steve Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers, we appreciate you taking some time to join us here in San Antonio.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Steve Pikel, the head coach of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. All guests, in fact, appear via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. How about Steve Pikel? A pretty interesting interview and some answers. By all intents and purposes, man, it sounds like Dylan Harper has got everything that San Antonio and the Spurs are looking for when it comes to, obviously, the ability on the court. But other than that, outside the basketball court and all of that. So good stuff from Coach Pikel, and we appreciate him joining us here in San Antonio. And again, I mentioned that at the end of the interview, he's got to be proud as hell. I mean, all the people at Rutgers have to be proud as hell. Now, Ace Bailey, nobody knows where he's going to go. Because, I mean, he's been kind of the mystery man of this draft. He's not working out anywhere and hasn't done that. So who knows? Although there was a report out earlier today that the Brooklyn Nets were looking to possibly move down, if they could, to draft that guy. Obviously he's got a lot of talent and a lot of things to offer any club. But Dylan Harper most likely coming to San Antonio, and you just learned a little bit more about the young man that will be wearing a Spurs uniform before too long. My only thing is making it work. And again, I have no doubts. I'm sure the Spurs have already talked about this. They got a plan in place. But again, you've got Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox. Three guys that are very similar in style, all can dish. Look, and you know, Harper can play defense. Castle can play defense. That's a plus. But they're very similar in style. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Mitch Johnson and that coaching staff work this out and how they handle those three guys. And again, if the question is not about Dylan Harper and he's the guy at number 2, what's next? That's the question. And Pledge has sent me a little something here that I find fascinating.
Me too.
Yeah, well, I know you were happy about it, Pledge. The Utah Jazz are saying everything and everybody pretty much is on the table. They are looking to clean house, and everything, and it just pretty much everything is they're ready to move. Austin Ainge, if that name sounds familiar, it should. He is the son of Danny Ainge. He's the president of basketball operations here in Utah. And he said that the Jazz might desire a fresh start and get rid of core pieces like Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, Walker Kessler. They may be more attainable than ever before. And what that says to me, and what it said to Pledge too when we were talking earlier, that could be cheaper than ever before. And I know you're a big Lauri Markkanen fan, Pledge. You wouldn't be upset if the Spurs went out and did something there, would you?
Not at all. That would culminate a years-long dream for me.
Absolutely, and man, can you imagine those two guys, Wemby and Markkanen? That would be an incredible Twin Towers situation for the Spurs. I don't think there's any question about that.
That front court would be so incredible with their versatility.
And again, Pledge, you look at this thing with that coming out from Utah. Chicago's willing to move some pieces. Brooklyn's willing to do a deal. The Boston Celtics looking to do something. I mean, it could be a very fascinating night for the NBA draft. And who knows, maybe a very dramatic night for the San Antonio Spurs. Maybe they make some moves. Maybe they do, and I hope that they do. I really do. And if they don't do it now, then hopefully free agents. When that starts on June 30th, they got to do something. They need some pieces. If you get Dylan Harper in here, obviously you're going best talent available. It doesn't fill a need. It does not. And I know how a lot of you feel about that, but there are some needs that need to be filled. You can't just have Dylan Harper and say, okay, we're done with it. We'll make it work. That's not all. You got to go out and fill some of these other needs. You just have to. And so the Spurs are going to have to be active and do something. What they do at 14, if they decide to keep that pick and they go with a big man, do they go with a wing, a guy that can shoot, or do you go out and get a guy that you know? Because again, whether we like it or not, we can sit here all day long and talk about how great all these prospects are, and we do it all the time. Right now, Stephon Castle, everybody talking about him last year. He turned out to be the real deal. This year, everybody talking about Dylan Harper. Hopefully he turns out to be the real deal. But again, there are a lot of stories about guys with potential and guys coming out of college that didn't do anything in the NBA. There's a long, long list of those guys. And I hope that Dylan Harper's not one of those guys. And only time will tell that. But all the rumors, all the speculation, all the stuff that is going on out there, I think it's going to be a very dramatic day. And you just wait and you watch and you. I'm looking at my phone constantly to see what's going on there. You look at Twitter constantly to see what's going on there, and try to figure out what's happening. But it's interesting to say the least. I don't think there's any question about that, and I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
And I think you brought up something that we all kind of forget at one point or another throughout this whole thing as we get excited about rumors and speculation. We still have free agency to go through. Like the roster building isn't concluded after the draft, and it's not concluded if they don't make a trade. There is still potential for the Spurs to improve this roster around Victor Wembanyama with free agency once all of this is over.
Well, and again, I'm a firm believer that they've got to do something. I mean, they have to do – there's got to be more moves made, whether they keep both draft picks tonight or keep one and not the other. Something has got to happen because they just don't have – and I know there's a disagreement, especially with my partner Jason Minix, who says this is a playoff team. I completely disagree. As it's constructed right now, I don't think this team is a playoff team. I just don't. Maybe a play-in team. I'll concede that and go that far.
Yeah.
But they've just got too many holes to fill to be a legit top 6 team in the Western Conference. This conference is brutal, and it's only going to get better. If the reports are true about Oklahoma City, just think about that. Think about that. A team fresh off an NBA championship saying they want to move into the top 10 of tonight's draft. That is their goal. Think about that because they know they've got to continue to get better. Houston got better with the addition of Kevin Durant. Denver's going to be good. I mean, you just look down the list. I mean, LeBron James is here. You know, the Lakers are going to be a player.
Minnesota's already tried to get better.
Minnesota is going to get better, and they're already a pretty good team. I mean,
that's what I'm
saying. And you got to figure Anthony Edwards is going to get better. I mean, we all forget, and we sit here and kind of rag on that guy, but he's only 23 years old. So he's got some growing to do, and he's going to be okay, I think, and he's only going to get better. So the West is not going to get any worse. And if you want to keep up in the West and you want to make the playoffs and you want to be a contender, you're going to have to improve. I'm sorry, but this time of draft and develop and wait and hope, and no, that's over. It's over. You've got to go out and be aggressive and look as far as Oklahoma City. I mean, my goodness, they won a championship. You think they might sit back on a beach and have a cold beer and not worry about it? No, Sam Presti's saying we got to get better and we want to move up into the top 10 if possible. That's the way the NBA is rolling now. It's different than it was just 10 years ago.
Well,
there's no
judging
doubt
by their
about it.
locker room and all the leftover unopened beer, I don't think any of them drink beer. So I don't think they'll be sitting on a beach drinking beer.
My goodness, a lot of movement happening in the NBA. We obviously want to talk a lot of that today on the Blitz. There's no doubt about it. But when we come back, I tell you what, Oklahoma City, when you look at that team, since we're talking about them and all the players that they've had, Westbrook, Harden, Durant, just those three come to mind. Who's the best that's ever put on an Oklahoma City uniform? Well, the mayor of Oklahoma City, well, he's got a guess, and he's convinced. So we'll talk about it. We'll hear from him. We'll hear from LeBron on what he wants and a whole lot more because we got a lot to do here from the Roo Pub. 281 in Redland Road. It is draft headquarters. And, oh, by the way, besides just being a great place to come watch the draft, guess what? It's Wednesday. It is hump day, and that means it is steak night here at the Roo Pub. I've had the steak here a few times, and I tell you what, it is fantastic, and the price is absolutely right. Get on down here, get a table, and come party with us as we get ready for the NBA draft here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're riding with a Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Progressive Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance might be the easiest part of owning a home. Definitely easier than this.
Psst, honey, what? Shh, there's a salesman walking up the driveway. Oh no, he's got a clipboard. What do we do? Get down. Down? On the floor, you... Shoot, did he see us? Why are you breathing so loud?
Home ownership isn't easy, but with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, shopping for home insurance is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Do you want the lowest prices on wines and champagne shipped right to your door? TotalWine.com, America's largest independent wine retailer, ships to Eugene and Springfield. Explore our vast selection of over 8,000 wines and find something you love, all at the lowest prices for over 30 years. Whether you're looking to enjoy a full-bodied Cabernet from Paso Merlot, or crisp Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, TotalWine.com has you covered with great wines and Grand Cru champagne shipped right to your door. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Shipping available on wine and champagne only. Drink responsibly. B21.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One and a member FDIC.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders, our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our 2 caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is on now. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Have you heard? Kohl's Instant Kohl's Cash event is happening now. That's right. You can get $10 Kohl's Cash to use instantly when you spend $25 or more. Get it today and spend it today on summer must-haves from your favorite brands. Yep, you definitely don't want to miss this. Get instant Kohl's Cash while you still can at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Offers end June 29th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora at Kohl's. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Out here, you get your hands dirty. You get to work and finish the long summer day knowing you made it count. Whether it's cutting the grass, picking the garden, frying up the grill, or washing your dog, you get things done. It's the small stuff that adds up to this life you love. At Tractor Supply, we know that feeling, and we've got the supplies and friendly advice you need to get the most out of every day, all summer long. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
This broke a few minutes ago. Texas state officials, according to Pete Thamel, have informed the Sun Belt that they're expecting an offer from the Pac-12 in the near future. Talks between Texas State and the Pac-12 have intensified over the last 24 hours. Well, according to a report via French website Le Parisien, Victor Wembanyama will not participate in Eurobasket 2025 with Team France. He wants to rehabilitate and get ready for the 25-26 season.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Hump Day.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And you heard my old buddy the Camel. It is Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Yeah, it is. What a Wednesday it is for a number of reasons. Number one, just because it's Wednesday. That makes it fantastic on its own. but it is also NBA draft night. That's number 2. And then number 3, we're at the Roo Pub here at 281 in Redland Road. And, boy, I tell you what, it is a trifecta for the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix has the day off today. James Pledger is here, however, back in the glass box of fun, pushing all the buttons and doing the stuff that he does. But, man, what an exciting time. I'll tell you what. But there's every time now I think about big events, special occasions, because we're here for everything, whether it's the NFL draft, NBA draft, whatever the case may be, the Roo Pub is where we go. And it just screams big events. It's a great place, obviously, with their 3 massive screens. There's TVs all over the place. And the food is fantastic, man. I had a cheeseburger today for lunch, and it was fantastic. I've never gotten anything here that I said, that was okay. It's always good. And I forgot about the bison burger. I probably would have gotten that. Grumpy-ass Greg Shelton, you have the shrimp today? He had the shrimp.
I saw somebody
They're
on our
huge.
YouTube chat saying, order him up an order of those lemon pepper sauce shrimp.
Well, I don't know if he had lemon pepper on him. Or did you eat the tails? He ate the tails, too. I mean, it's gone. He doesn't leave the tails. He eats them, and that's okay. But the food is fantastic here, man. It is just great. And, again, I've never gotten anything here. Although I have to admit, Pledge, you're the only guy that does. I've never gotten a salad here.
It's fantastic.
So I'll take your word for that. It looks good. I've seen you do that. But, it looks good. So
it's a wedge salad. You get, like, your choice of protein on it. It is fantastic.
So what's the go-to? Is it chicken?
For me, yeah, I like the chicken best.
Yeah, the chicken's good. The burgers are good. Obviously, I've had the buffalo chicken sandwich here. I've had the shrimp, the steak night, and it is steak night, by the way, which is a hell of a special that they've got going on. $20, you get a damn good ribeye steak. And you can't beat it. It's the best deal in town. And so just the fact that it's hump day, it's draft day, it's steak night, we're at the Roo Pub, it just doesn't get much better than that. It really does not get much better than that. Come on out and get yourself a steak here tonight. Watch the draft, and you're going to go home a happy camper. I guarantee you that. It's a fantastic place. This is where we are. This is where we're going to watch the draft. We'll know what's going to happen at number 2 for all intents and purposes, but who knows what kind of drama we may see after that, not only from the Spurs, but from everybody. The rumors floating all over the place. But first, we'll do what we always do this time of day. The Headline Blitz
is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
I don't know if you saw this story, and I tell you what, sometimes I've always been a fan guy. I always take up for the fan when it's appropriate. Last night, though, something happened, and I don't know what was said, but Arizona Diamondbacks player, and I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce his name. It says Ketel Marte, I guess, or Mart, started bawling on the field. Somebody in the stands yelled something about his mother. All right, now his mother died in a car accident back in 2017. So obviously he's very obviously distraught about that. And even though 8 years ago, I mean, it's bad. And I don't know what they said. Now the fan was ejected. And now they're calling on this fan to be completely banned from every ball game there. But I mean, I don't know what was said, and the article doesn't say what was said. But this guy, he's just, I mean, he's sobbing uncontrollably. The manager comes out, he's consoling this guy, but all the players are saying, "Look, you got to get rid of this fan. You can't have that." So it must have been something obviously pretty bad, but. Golly, for a pro ball player to just sob uncontrollably, you don't see that very often, obviously. But these guys have feelings too, and it's a shame that you have some fans like that. Go out, have fun, cheer, razz the other team. That's all, but keep it classy, for goodness sake. I mean, my goodness, there's no reason to get personal with people's moms and all of that kind of stuff. I just it baffles me why that kind of stuff happens. I just don't know. Oklahoma City had their parade yesterday. Did you guys see this? I mean, they're happy. Look, Oklahoma City fans, very similar to San Antonio Spurs fans, small market. We get invested in our basketball team because that's all Oklahoma City has as well, right? They've got their basketball team. They've got the Thunder. We're here in San Antonio. We've got the Spurs. So you really get invested in what they're doing, and they did. So the parade was yesterday, but their mayor was introducing some of the players and made a statement yesterday talking about the best player to ever wear a Thunder jersey.
The city, the greatest player to ever put on the uniform, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
What? Wow. I mean, keep in mind, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, they all wore Thunder jerseys, but it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander who is the greatest, according to the mayor of Oklahoma City. I found that kind of, I don't know. Can you call him the greatest yet? I'm not sure you can. I don't know the greatest. I mean, when you're talking about guys like Harden and Westbrook and Durant, I don't know. I mean, he's got to be up there, obviously, in the conversation, yes. But the greatest player to ever wear a Thunder uniform, I'm just not sure. LeBron James is a pretty good player. I think everybody will agree with that. There's a lot of things not to like about LeBron, obviously, but on the basketball court, the man is good. I didn't realize that, and I snapped when I saw this article today. LeBron James wishes the NBA would create an Offensive Player of the Year award. And I got to thinking, he's right. There isn't one in the NBA. You've got a Defensive Player of the Year award, but you don't have an Offensive Player of the Year award. And I guess maybe you could say the MVP is that, but it's not specifically that. I don't know. Would you like to see an Offensive Player of the Year award? And I wonder how that would work. I mean, obviously stats and scoring and all of that kind of stuff, but I found that interesting and didn't really even give it any thought beforehand. Is that the fact that there was. And I don't know why they don't have one. If you've got a Defensive Player of the Year, you don't have an Offensive Player of the Year. I think that'll make that happen. In this respect, Pledge, this might surprise the hell out of you. I agree with LeBron James on this. I think there should be an Offensive Player of the Year. What do you think?
Is that not the scoring champion?
I don't know. It's different. Scoring is one thing, but offensive player, I guess you could make that two different
Is it not
deals.
The MVP?
No.
How many offensive
MVP,
player awards do we need?
just one, and call it an Offensive Player of the Year award.
Oh, okay.
Look, I mean, I'm having an epiphany over here. I'm agreeing with LeBron James. I mean, give me my moment, will you?
No.
That would surprise the hell out of everybody.
Zero sense because all of the other awards are offensive based except the lone Defensive Player of the Year. Even the Sixth Man of the Year goes to the best offensive Sixth Man of the Year.
I don't know. Manu was decent at the defense. He played good defense.
Yeah, and he was one of the best Sixth Men of the Year.
He was. So, I mean, it's both. Just specifically Offensive Player of the Year. Now, I'm just wondering who that would be. I mean, would you give that to Luka Doncic? Because obviously the guy doesn't know how to spell defense, but he's a hell of an offensive player. So maybe, in a situation like that where guys, James Harden, for example, could have been that back in the day. Didn't know how to play defense, but he was a hell of an offensive player. I don't know. I can see guys like that, maybe an award for those types of guys that don't know how to spell defense, and you got to give them some award. I don't know. I don't think LeBron's going to get his wish, but I thought that was interesting, and I'd never really thought about the fact that there wasn't one. And so I kind of learned something.
I think everybody just assumes MVP and those other scoring champs and the other awards on offense are offensive awards, Offensive Players of the Year, because it's a lot like the MVP. We just automatically start eliminating running backs or defenders or whoever. It's the best quarterback. It's a quarterback award now.
It is pretty much, that's for sure. Every now and then a running back will sneak in there, but yeah, for the most part, it is a quarterback. Speaking of football, Deontay Johnson played for the Ravens last year, refused to go into a ball game last year because it was too cold, and he didn't want to look bad on tape. Can you imagine? And from the article I read, Pledge, which blows me away, in some of the conditions that these guys play in, this article said the temperature that day was only 41 degrees.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, what the hell? How do you refuse to go in because it's too cold? When you see some of these guys, and I always think back to that Kansas City-Miami game. What was that, like 40 below or whatever the hell it was? It was ridiculous.
People died.
And those guys are out there playing. Can you – I don't even want you – nah, sorry, Coach, it's too cold. What? What are you talking about? Obviously, this guy doesn't play for the Ravens anymore.
It makes a lot of sense when you consider last year he was traded to the Panthers, didn't last half the season, got cut, got picked up by the Texans, lasted for like a game and a half, got cut again, never made it with another team. And for some reason, because it's cold, he's decided to sign with the Browns this offseason.
Well, if it was too cold in Baltimore, he's not going to get any warmer in Cleveland. Is he going to refuse to go into a game in Cleveland? Who knows?
I'm pretty
Obviously,
sure
the guys.
This will be his last team he will ever play for.
Obviously, the guy's the donkey of the day. I don't think there's any question about that. I think we can all agree on that. He is the donkey of the day with this kind of nonsense that he's spewing out here. It's simply ridiculous. Big day here at the Roo Pub 281 at Redland Road. It's the NBA draft day. It's steak night here at the Roo Pub as well. But coming up next, we're going to talk a lot of NBA draft. That's pretty much primarily what we're doing here today. But the NCAA is going to decide in the coming weeks if they're going to expand the basketball tournament to 76 teams. 76 teams from 60, whatever it is now, and I don't count the first four. That's ridiculous, and that's why I don't like this 76 team. But we'll discuss it, and I'd like to get your opinion on that as well. First, though, we've got is this a 4-pack pledge of tickets for the Missions Hooks?
That's a family 4-pack.
Family 4-pack to go see the Missions take on those hated Corpus Christi Hooks July 1st. Out at Wolf Stadium. Obviously, that's next week, next Tuesday. If you want to win that 4-pack of tickets, it's really easy. All you have to do is give us a call, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. I'm going to take it really easy on you in honor of Dylan Harper coming to the Spurs. Caller number 2. You're going to win that family 4-pack of tickets to the Missions versus the Hooks July 1st, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. We're continuing here from the Roo Pub on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
He got in a crash at about 3:45 p.m. Officers arrived. They found an unresponsive person inside a white GMC Yukon. The driver suddenly regained consciousness and tried to flee the scene, but an officer had entered the vehicle to turn it off and render aid to the driver. So there was a cop in the car with him when he's like,
that'd be me.
Damn it. He woke up and he's like, oh, man, I got to get out of here.
I'm trying to help you, brother. I thought you would slow down.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're going to draw one name of a person that sold their car to GiveMeTheVin.com and give them $25,000.
Wow. Give Me the Vin is giving away $25,000 in cash every month.
Could you imagine being that person? Wouldn't that feel great?
That would be awesome.
Well, honey, you won.
Oh my God. Heather Krager of Dallas, Texas won $25,000 and Give Me the Vin's big cash giveaway. That's so cool. You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more. I guess that old Mercedes was worth more than I thought. No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Imagine owning coastal land with ocean views and world-class fishing just off Matagorda Bay. Well, dream no more. This Saturday, mark your calendars for a pre-4th of July one-day coastal land sale at Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. We're unveiling incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1+ acre bay access from $49.9, waterfront properties starting at $99.9, or with a barn dominium from just $169.9. Wow! This gated community boasts a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch with paved roads and underground utilities. It's all happening this Saturday. 1+ acre bay access from $49.9, waterfront properties from $99.9, with barn dominium for only $169.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing is available. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Freedom starts with land, and land like this won't last long.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-2521. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-2521. 800-285-2521. 800-285-2521.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Nice, Pledge. Wow. Oh, Pledge. We get rid of Minix, and this is great. We have like some good music on here. That's fantastic. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinigo. Jason Minix is on vacation. He's off today, so we're playing some good music for a change. We're here at the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road, having a great time getting ready for the NBA draft coming up here tonight. It is steak night here at the Roo Pub, so make plans to come in. You need to have this steak. $20 is you can't beat that. It's a huge ribeye steak. You're going to get a side of that, some kind of potatoes. Last week, I got French fries with it. It was fantastic. So come on down here, get a table, get ready for the draft. Watch it with us here on the Blitz. And you know what I love about coming here to the Roo Pub? I mean, obviously their big screens are the attraction. They've got these 3 giant screens that you can see from anywhere in this place, but they got TVs all over the place. But the beauty of having all these TVs here is that there's something going on. You got the Pirates playing the Brewers over there. You got the pre-draft, pregame show on ESPN going over there. You got golfers having a press conference over here, and you got Wimbledon going on this TV here just to my left. And what's cool about that is, and I don't know about you, and this might sound creepy as hell. Do tennis players, lady tennis players, they're the best legs in the world. I mean, don't they? They're just incredible. And there's this girl, and I can't even pronounce her name. It's Radaku. I don't know what her name is, but she's winning. And let me just tell you, fellas and ladies, for that matter, she's very shiny. I'm just saying. So it's a treat to come down here, no matter what sport you're into. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's I'm enjoying the Wimbledon action over here. It's not bad at all. While Wimbledon is obviously professional sports, the NCAA, well, I guess you could say it's not. It is professional now as well. It's not supposed to be. It hasn't been that way, but it is what it is now. The NCAA tournament, one of my favorite events of the year. I mean, I love the NCAA tournament. And truth be told, look, I'm not a big college basketball guy. I'll watch some college basketball here and there, but I really get into it when you start having the conference tournaments. And then, of course, the NCAA tournament, it to me is just the best, certainly one of the best sporting events there is. I loved it at 64 teams. Then they threw in the gimmick with the first 4. So they moved that up to 68 teams. I think that first 4 is the most ridiculous thing in the world. First of all, because one of those games is a couple of 15, 16 seeds, and they're playing for the right to get slaughtered by a number 1 seed. So that's number one. And I know they try to fancy it up with doing like 11 seeds and like they would have any better chance. I just think it's a joke. And to me, a complete waste of time. So now the NCAA and all their genius are about to vote, and it could happen this week, to expand the tournament by 8 teams. So in other words, go from 68 teams to 76 teams. And I'm not sure how they would do that. I'm reading an article here by Pete Thamel, and Pete Thamel's the authority on stuff like this. The guy breaks stuff, and he's good at what he does. It doesn't say how they would do it, but it appears that they're going to do it. NCAA President Charlie Baker, in fact, he says has been open in talking publicly about tournament expansion, telling reporters at Big 12 meetings in May that the NCAA is having a good conversation with its media partners. That tells me the expansion is all about money. So it really doesn't matter exactly how they're going to do it or what they would do. So you add 8 teams to this thing. So what do you have, a first 12 now to get into the regular tournament? I'm not sure how they would do this. And it really is weird, but they're going to do it. I don't think there's any question that they're going to do it. It's just a matter of when that decision is going to be made. And once that decision is made, it's going to start next year. I mean, they're not going to wait a year and give you a grace period. They're going to say, we're doing this right now. And so they're going to get into it. But I find it fascinating that they want to keep expanding. And again, it's all about the Benjamins, right? It's all about the money. That's exactly what it is. And that's and I can't necessarily blame them for that, because if their TV partners are on board, the TV partners are going to have to pony up more money, and then everybody gets richer. But where does it come to a point where it is too saturated? Because you have a good thing, I think, and I think 64 teams is the perfect amount. For me, it's the perfect amount. And the tournament is exciting. You have some upsets every now and then, but you have 64 teams and you earn your way in. Now you're going to have 76 teams, and there's going to be some really bad basketball teams in this tournament. Don't you think? I mean, don't you think that's the way that it's going to be? Because there are already some bad basketball teams to get in. Because all you have to do is win your conference. You get hot at the right time. You win your conference. You get in, and you might even have a losing record when you get in. And I can only imagine then you add 8 more teams to this thing, and what kind of basketball are we going to see? I know there's this controversy year after year after year. Well, so-and-so didn't make it. This team didn't make it. They should have. They got screwed. Yada, yada, yada. I get it, and all of that happens. But I just don't understand. And where does it end? You go into 76 now. Well, why not 86 next year? Let's go to 100. Why not do that? I mean, if we're going to have more college basketball and more tournament action, then where's it going to end? 76 teams. It's going to be interesting to see how they do this. And by all intents and purposes, they are going to do it. It's just a matter of when, and I'm expecting that either sometime this week or first part of next. They're going to make that decision because according to Pete Thamel in his story, they're close. And it appears just by his article that they are all on board with this thing, and it's going to happen. So if it is going to happen, I want to see how is it going to work. You had 8 more teams. You've already got your first 4. Then you add 8 more. I don't know if it comes into a first 12. Do you add seeds to that? All kinds of things, all kinds of questions that I have. And I'm curious what you guys think. I don't see any comments on our YouTube page. I've checked Twitter over here. I don't see any comments there. Do you really care? And maybe that's the point of it. Maybe that's the NCAA just said, well, look, people aren't going to care anyway. It's a tournament. They're going to watch, which we will. I mean, I watched the first 4. I don't know why, but I do. Because if I recall, some of those games, especially when you're dealing with 16 seeds playing off against each other, it's usually pretty good basketball. But they're going to get hammered in the very next game. I don't know. And to me, it's just leave it alone. I think you're trying to mess with something that is just absolutely perfect the way that it is. And I just would really hate for them to continue messing with this thing. It really bothers me. And again, if you listen to the show for any amount of time at all, you know that I think the NCAA has they got their balls cut off, I don't know, years ago because they don't have any. And they've got no meat. They have no authority. They have nothing. And so I keep hoping they get better, but they're not, and that's a problem. So just get ready for that because it's going to happen. 76 teams are going to get in to the NCAA basketball tournament, and it's coming up. It's coming up pretty quick. What are you laughing at, Pledge?
You can't proceed to follow up having your balls cut off with having no meat.
Well, maybe the guy that was cutting them off went a little too far. I don't know. Oh man, I don't understand it. It just makes absolutely no sense to me at all, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. So, but I'm not going to get down. I'm not going to get in a bad mood. It's too good of a hump day. Here at the Roo Pub, NBA draft day. All of that steak night. There's so many good things happening that nothing can bring me down today.
96 teams getting in the tournament. Just let them all in.
Let them in. Why not? Why not just say, hey, if you play in the NCAA, everybody gets in. Mm-hmm. Let's go. We'll just we'll have a ruckus. Everybody plays everybody.
It's important.
Well, yeah, right. Sure it is. It's not. And that's the problem. It's absolutely not, and it's unbelievable. Let's talk some NBA draft. You want to? Because I do. It's Rutgers night tonight. I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, they've got their pretty much their stamp. They've got 2 players that could conceivably go in the top 5. We're taking Dylan Harper by all intents and purposes at number 2. Ace Bailey. Will he go in the top 5? He'll certainly go in the top 10. So I think it's a Rutgers-themed night in the NBA draft tonight, at least early on in that thing. And how would you like to have Derrick White back in San Antonio? Would that be appealing to anybody? Well, let's talk about it. When we return here on the Blitz from the Roo Pub on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, draft day come and gone. Let's talk about the Spurs haul.
We're only halfway done. There is a day two. We'll look at where they're headed in that direction and around the rest of the league. But to start early, you got to get here. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Do you want the lowest prices on wines and champagne shipped right to your door? TotalWine.com, America's largest independent wine retailer, ships to Eugene and Springfield. Explore our vast selection of over 8,000 wines and find something you love, all at the lowest prices for over 30 years. Whether you're looking to enjoy a full-bodied Cabernet from Paso or crisp Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, TotalWine.com has you covered with great wines and Grand Cru champagne shipped right to your door. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Shipping available on wine and champagne only. Drink responsibly. B21.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Help UTSA football make history. Pack the Dome for the Battle of I-35 on September 6th. From now until June 26th, tickets to the Texas State game are 35% off. The Roadrunners are looking to break the all-time home attendance record of 56,743 fans set in the inaugural game in 2011. Be there. Visit goutsa.com/tickets or call 210-458-8872 to take advantage of this 35% offer. Be part of history. Birds up.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Plus, get free home delivery with most smart beds, limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
I'm sinking.
All-time low. At least that's what Pledge told me. All-time low. Interesting, yeah. It's not a bad song. What do you think? Not too bad. All-time low. The World Tour, October 26th at the Boeing Center at Techport. We just happen to have a couple of tickets to give away to that event. If you're free on October 26th, you'd like to go see All Time Low. Everyone's talking the World Tour at the Boeing Center at Techport. You could do that now. All you have to do is be caller number 9 at 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. All Time Low. Might be a fun time. October 26th at the Boeing Center at Tech Point. Caller number 9, good luck to you. And if you were on the edge of your seat to wonder what the Dallas Mavericks were going to do tonight and wondering if they're going to take Cooper Flagg or Dylan Harper, I think you can rest easy now. The Duke Blue Devils Twitter page just sent out a tweet congratulating the Dallas Mavericks on Cooper Flagg. So the suspense is all over. Clay Moore on our YouTube page can rest easy now. And so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore because the Duke Blue Devils just let the cat out of the bag. Cooper Flagg's going to the Dallas Mavericks. I don't think there's any question or was any question, but I appreciate the Duke Blue Devils doing that and just kind of, making us all kind of rest easy there. Now, do you think Rutgers might send out a tweet now saying, congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs on Dylan Harper? Then we can all rest easy there. And the first 2 picks, we can have our steak here at the Roo Pub and not worry about it and just get the draft started at number 3. I wish they would do that. So we'll watch for tweets from Rutgers University and see what they send out. But thanks to the Blue Devils of Duke for lightening the load for us all over the place. NBA draft is tonight, and you can listen to it, by the way, right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're not going to be by a television set tonight, and even if you are, you can listen to it right here on 94.1. We'll get you started at 6:30. I'm assuming that means Pledge. You've got a little 30-minute broadcast tonight at 6 o'clock. Is that correct?
That is correct. I do have a nice little 30-minute pregame into the NFL draft or NBA draft.
All right. So there you go. You've got extra innings with Pledge at 6, and then the NBA draft at 6:30 here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And again, we mentioned it, and I said it's going to be a Rutgers-themed NBA draft, and then the Duke Blue Devils have to ruin the party because apparently they're going to have more players in the top 10 anyway, or you would think so, than Rutgers will. Rutgers with Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. But you got Cooper Flagg, you got that Con Knuppel, and then the big fella who I forgot how you said, Malawach, I think is how you say his Malawach, the big fella, which I wish somehow, some way, that guy would end up in San Antonio somehow. Now, I guess it is possible if you're looking at the Spurs with that 14th pick, maybe trying to trade down to grab that Malawach fella. and I'll never forget, it's our good friend Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle who said long ago, watch out for this guy. And he was right. But it looks like Duke most likely will have 3 guys at least in the top 10 of tonight's NBA draft. So a Rutgers/Duke theme to the NBA draft tonight. We'll see. A couple of news stories today. Kyrie Irving is going to sign a $119 million extension with the Dallas Mavericks after declining his player option. And I think that's smart of Dallas, I suppose. So the prognosis for him must be pretty good, that he's going to be back. And I didn't realize. I thought Kyrie Irving was older than he is. He's only 33 years old. So the guy's got some years left, and he's still playing at a high level. And the Mavericks decided to sign him to a $119 million extension. I believe that's 3 years. He did decline his player option. So with Cooper Flagg coming, they want Kyrie Irving to play with him, and they're pretty well set. And look, don't sleep on that Mavericks team. And I mean that in all sincerity. Depending on how Cooper Flagg fits in the NBA, and I think that he will. I mean, the guy's uber talented. He can do just about anything. I think he'll fit in. This Dallas Mavericks team is going to be a team to reckon with. I don't think they're just going to be one of these teams that is going to be on the cusp. I think they're going to be pretty decent when it's all said and done. LeBron James, we're talking about him a lot today, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. LeBron James, he had his little podcast with Steve Nash that they're doing, and he brought up a story. And the only reason I do this is because it involves a former San Antonio Spur, and I think it says a lot about this former San Antonio Spur. He uses this former San Antonio Spur story to motivate his sons.
I'll tell you who this guy is after I read this. Unranked in high school, 0 D1 scholarship offers, played 3 years of Division II basketball at UCCS.
I know who it is.
Transferred to Colorado, and now is an NBA champion.
Hell
One
of
of the
a
best
player.
teams in the NBA. That guy's Derrick White.
Hell of a player.
Hell of a player. And my message was to them, everybody's road to success is different. So stay locked in and patient. That was my message to my boys last year.
Message.
How about that? Derrick White is motivating Bronny and who's LeBron's other son?
Bronny has earned it.
Yeah, Bronny has earned it. Look, Derrick White's a great guy. I don't think anybody will question that. He's a great guy. We knew he was a great guy when he was here in San Antonio. He wasn't the player that he is now. That guy has gotten better. So what that tells you, I think, is if LeBron is using Derrick White's story to motivate his sons, I think that is high praise. I really do. Because Derrick White came from nothing to now being an NBA champion and a star in this league. I mean, he is a bona fide superstar, I think, in this league. Superstar is a big word. He's a bona fide star in this league. And he's a role player for the Boston Celtics that, he's been influential, right? I mean, it needed with that Boston Celtics team with the way he can shoot threes and what he does. And you like stories like that, guys coming from nothing to make it to where they are right now. And to think that guy was a former Spur. He was a San Antonio Spur at one time.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, is it not?
According to you, we could have had a superstar on this team.
We could have. Yeah, well, not quite a superstar, but a bona fide star. Well, I tell you what, it would solve a couple of problems for the Spurs if you had a Derrick White back on this team. You got a shooter, a legit shooter, and a guy that flat out plays great defense. I mean, that solves two problems right there. You killed two birds with one Derrick White stone, right? Or you know what I'm talking about.
Because one of the things this team has lacked is defensive ability when Wemby is not on the floor. Like, their plus minus with him and without him on the floor is abysmal.
They're horrible. I mean, they're awful defensively. Even with Wemby on the floor, and he can't do it all. I mean, this is no disrespect to Wemby.
He tries to.
The Spurs are not a good defensive team. They're not. And which is sad because, I mean, that's what the Spurs were built in defense. It's what Pop preached all those years in defense, and that's how they won all those championships, or a big reason certainly why they did that, and now they're just horrible at it. So, yeah, that would be great. I would love to see a Derrick White back in San Antonio. Now, I don't know if that will ever happen, but, man, that would solve a lot of problems and a lot of issues. And if Boston is trying to have a little garage sale going here, do what you have to do to get Derrick White back here. Now, they've got Jaylen Brown hanging out there too, and that's a possibility. When you got Tatum missing the entire season, and he's going to, I guess if you're Boston, you're just looking at this, well, we're going to just kind of try and rebuild a little bit while we get ready for Tatum to get back. But I don't know, man. If either one of those guys available, obviously Brown is going to be a lot more expensive than Derrick White. But, man, you talk about a piece, and what I've been preaching and talking about, having to build this team, a guy like Derrick White is the kind of guy I'm talking about. I mentioned Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton from Brooklyn as well. I'd love to see those guys come to San Antonio. There are other guys out there. Lauri Markkanen's another one. I'm with Pledge on that. I think he would be a great fit here in San Antonio. So there's a lot of guys out there, but a Derrick White is the kind of guy that I'm talking about. Who's just a professional in every way, shape, and form. And he's a Spur. I mean, he would fit right in, obviously, because he did that before. So, anyway, I can dream and hope that something like that happens, and we'll see. Cooper Flagg, we told you Duke put out the tweet that he's going to be the number one pick, so you can rest easy. Well, he's getting high praise from Big Perk, Kendrick Perkins. And Perk is kind of getting ripped up for this comment we're about to play you, that if Kevin Garnett and LeBron James had a baby, it'd be Cooper Flagg.
This is how I look at Cooper Flagg. If LeBron James and Kevin Garnett had a baby, you get Cooper Flagg. And why I say that is because when you think about LeBron James, you think of a complete basketball player, right? Jay, you just ran off the stats. He led the team in everything. That's a LeBron James type thing. And you talked about his passion, his tenacity. I'm watching KG all over again, the way that he plays with a high level. We don't give players enough credit like Cooper Flagg. I think it's a skill to have a high motor like he has. Mm-hmm. And you talk about his competitive nature and saying this is one of the most competitive guys over the last 20 years. It is, because most guys in high school nowadays, they reclass and go the other way. Right. He reclassed up. So he's running up the chimney looking for the smoke. And I love everything about this young man. I love how humble he is. I love how low maintenance he is and how hard working he is. And he's a generational talent.
Generational talent. The baby of Kevin Garnett and LeBron James. Wow, I didn't even know those two were involved. Who knew they had a baby already? That's incredible. I kid, obviously, but I guess I get where he's going with that, but I don't. I'm trying. I don't know, and I wonder about Perk thinking that way. But I could kind of see me making a stupid statement like that too. You know what I mean? It's like you try to make a point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure that did, but he got his point across. Durant and Kevin Garnett, or LeBron and Kevin Garnett having a baby, be Cooper Flagg. I wonder what Cooper thinks about that. That'd be an interesting question to ask him tonight. Hey, Coop, how's Daddy?
Well, that's Daddy.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be fun. A lot of rumors rolling around out there tonight, this afternoon. A lot of things happening. The Utah Jazz are open to having a complete garage sale. The Chicago Bulls have mentioned some players that they wouldn't mind moving. We already talked about the Boston Celtics with some of the teams that they had. And I find it funny. And I want to ask you guys, because on our YouTube page, which you can go like and subscribe to San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you can do that. I see Colby. Well, it's not Colby. Sorry, Colby. It wasn't you. There was somebody here who made a comment about Derrick White now being too expensive. And I just wonder, it was Wesley on our YouTube page says, White 4 years ago, affordable. Now I want him, but not for the price he'll command. I'm wondering, and I love Spurs fans again, and we talk about this when we get into trade scenarios, that Spurs fans want the Spurs to screw everybody and just get players for nothing. I'm not sure exactly when you're talking about a Derrick White. Yeah, he's making a lot of money. He made a lot of money when he was with the Spurs. Remember, he did get a contract here, so it was a decent contract. I mean, it wasn't the Kevin Durant's or the LeBron James type of contract, but it was a pretty good contract. And I just wonder what pieces are you looking for if they have to be not as expensive. Now, my Cam Johnson, that I love this guy. I think he'd fit in perfectly in San Antonio. His price tag, $20 million. Is that too expensive, or is that okay? Nick Claxton's going to command. Look, you're going to have to pay these guys. They're going to be making money. What do you want to do? How do you want to proceed? Now, and you move forward, Wemby's going to get paid probably after this season. The Spurs are going to offer him a contract, I would assume, if things go well, and he feels like this team is moving in the right direction, that he'll sign it, and he will continue on being a Spur. But I'm not sure exactly. De'Aaron Fox is going to get a contract extension by all intents and purposes. That will happen at some point in time this summer. So I'm just wondering, are we going to be cheap here and just say, well, we're too cheap to pay guys that will come in here and help us immediately? Or do we want to go with the same old, well, let's just draft and develop? Because that, to me, that just ain't the way it is here anymore. It's just not. Jaren Jackson Jr. is another one, but again, that would be expensive.
I'm glad you brought this up, Joe, because I'm starting to think. You look at what Boston's doing right now. You look at what some of these other teams are doing. I think these aprons are making things very restrictive for teams and owners, and people are regretting giving away big contracts and going up into those aprons.
Well, look, the apron, and I try to understand all of that stuff, and I think I've got somewhat of a handle on it. I know the Spurs are in pretty good shape in that respect right now. Look, I would rather go out and get a guy like Derrick White and get rid of a guy like Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, get rid of Keldon Johnson and their salaries, and bring in a guy that I know is absolutely going to help. I know that Derrick White knows his role. And I know that he can make shots. He can play defense. I know that. And I know he would fit in. I don't know that about Devin Vassell. Keldon Johnson did impress me this year coming off the bench. I thought that was great. But I would much rather bring guys like that in and pay them and not pay guys because, look, Devin Vassell's making a pretty good coin right now. I mean, his contracts, guys making a lot of money. And I look at that, and I'm wondering – is he worth that? I don't think he has been. And again, I've been the biggest Devin Vassell fan in San Antonio, I think. But I'm not sure that he's worth that. I would much rather bring in a guy that I know is worth that. And I think a Derrick White would be. Look, it's all a crapshoot. Every bit of this NBA is a crapshoot. What happens tonight, whether it's Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, or name somebody, it's a crapshoot. You don't know. I love to say that, but it's true. You just don't know if these guys are going to be good NBA players. You don't. And so all of it is a crapshoot for sure. What I know is not a crapshoot, steak night here at the Roo Pub. That's not a crapshoot. That is a guaranteed win for you because the steaks are simply fantastic. The other thing they have here is 3 giant screens you can watch the NBA draft on tonight. You can cheer on the Spurs with whatever they do at number 2, which will be Dylan Harper, whatever they decide to do with the 14th pick. If there's a trade made, because there's going to be a lot of Spurs fans in here watching the NBA draft in here tonight and having a great ribeye steak for $20. A deal you cannot beat. Come join us here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. That's where we are. Here till 6 o'clock, but we're going to stick around and watch the draft, have a few cold beers, and have some fun with the rest of the Spurs fans. So get on down here, find your seat, get comfortable, and get ready to watch the draft tonight. It will be exciting, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of drama, to say the least. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Imagine owning coastal land with ocean views and world-class fishing just off Matagorda Bay. Well, dream no more. This Saturday, mark your calendars for a pre-4th of July one-day coastal land sale at Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. We're unveiling incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1+ acre bay access from $49.9. Waterfront properties starting at $99.9. Or with a barn dominium from just $169.9. Wow! This gated community boasts a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch with paved roads and underground utilities. It's all happening this Saturday. 1+ acre bay access from $49.9. Waterfront properties from $99.9 with barn dominium for only $169.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing is available. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Freedom starts with land, and land like this won't last long.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from
We can be twinsies.
to
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Are you a chronic interrupter? Incapable of letting other people talk? Do those people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have a 120-night sleep trial, so you can get your money back if a bed's not right. That way, anyone, even someone like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Fireworks are awesome, but overpaying for them? That's not so awesome.
Mr. W Fireworks, we've got the lowest prices around.
Like, lower than anyone.
No hidden fees,
No crazy markups, just real savings with pre-tariff pricing. Our family has been doing this since 1963. And the selection, it's huge. We have so many fireworks. Go to MrWFireworks.com to find a location near you. Mr. W Fireworks, we have pre-tariff prices. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it was breaking news early this afternoon. Texas state officials have informed the Sun Belt they're expecting an offer from the Pac-12 in the near future. Talks between Texas State and the Pac-12 have intensified over the last 24 hours. Now, according to a report via French website Le Parisien, Victor Wembanyama will not participate in Eurobasket 2025 with Team France, wants to rehabilitate and get ready for the upcoming season.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Not only that, but it is hump day.
Hump day?
Yeah. And it's a good Wednesday. Not only is it hump day.
Hump day?
It's NBA draft day. Not to mention that, we're out at the Roo Pub here at 281 in Redland Road, getting ready for tonight's NBA draft, where it is steak night tonight here at the Roo Pub. So come on down, join us, party with us, get ready for the NBA draft with us, because we are here for the duration, and we're going to hang around and have a few cold beers and watch the draft and see how it all develops. A lot of things already happening. But Pledge, I bet you didn't even know this. Today has been proclaimed as Cooper Flag Day in the state of Maine. The governor, Janet Mills, made that proclamation that it is Cooper Flag Day to celebrate the Maine natives' remarkable basketball achievement. I didn't know Cooper Flag was from Newport, Maine. How about that? How does a young man from Newport, Maine make it to Duke University?
With a lot of hard work and some very tall parents.
All of that kind of helps. So I just want you all to know that in case you you didn't know that. It's Cooper Flag Day in the state of Maine.
Well, since we're figuring out what days are, just so you know, coming up the next week, Monday on June 30th, it's going to be SGA Day in Oklahoma City.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Well, June 30th is also the start of the NBA free agent period. So that's interesting. June 30th, SGA Day. Well, he is the best player to ever wear a Thunder uniform, according to the mayor of Oklahoma City.
So I've been told.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. So we'll see. I get a lot of comments, Pledge, on our YouTube page here about the Peter Holt article, and I was looking for it. I know you sent it to me, about the fan experience for the Spurs is dead last in the NBA.
Yeah, it's because we don't have an entertainment district and such.
Oh, so that's the fan experience. I thought they were talking about, we don't have Red Panda in enough, or, we used to have the Spurs dancers, don't have the Spurs dancers anymore. It's that, I can't remember what that hype squad. So that's interesting. So the main thing is, and I haven't read the article. I know you have, Pledge. It's all because we don't have anywhere to go before or after the game. That's the deal.
That's the antithesis of it. He's really pumping this new arena and entertainment district downtown to the voters. They are on a full court press on this thing.
Interesting. Well, of course they are. I mean, they want it. It's
sure. But my question is, wasn't that supposed to be part of the Frost Bank Center?
Well, it was, and it never worked out that way. And I don't know what happened or why, but yeah, that's how it was sold.
Blindly agree again that this is going to happen?
Yeah, it's going to happen. If it's downtown, it will happen. And plus, I mean, you don't have to really rebuild anything, do you? If you go downtown to a game there at the new Wemby Center, or whatever they're going to be calling it. I mean, there's stuff already there. It's not like you can't go downtown and do that. So I'm hopeful that this will be a part of what they're going to do, very similar to what they do in Dallas. And I don't know if Houston has any kind of entertainment district. Do they, Pledge? You would know this better than me.
Not really around NRG Stadium. I think there's more stuff to do around the Toyota Center. Problem is, a lot of that stuff closes way too early.
Well, exactly. Phoenix is the same way, or it used to be. It's been a while since I've been to Phoenix in the arena there. I used to go there quite a bit. They have stuff around the Suns arena there, whatever it's called these days, but it was only open pregame. It wasn't open postgame, which I found very interesting because most people that go to Suns games will go there and then leave and go somewhere else to party afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, but yeah, you remember Dan Marley? He had a bar down there, and a couple other people had bars down there, but they were open pregame, but they weren't open postgame. They were always closed, and most people would boogie out of there and not stick around for postgame. But I find that interesting that Holton, and I guess bringing something like that up might help the cause. But look, I'm reading stuff now in this new Wemby Center that the taxpayers don't even have to vote on it. I mean, it's a done deal as far as I'm concerned because of what the city council did and with the funds from the state of Texas. Now, the rest of it may have to be the infrastructure portion of it that they're going to have to vote on for the Bexar County thing. And look, I'm not a political guy, and some of these things go right over my head. I'll freely admit that. But I think as far as the Wemby Center is concerned, I'm not sure that it's going to require a vote or take the vote of the people to make that happen. I think the city council, with what they did, is my understanding, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but the Wemby Center, I think, is a done deal. I don't think there's anything holding that back. I really do. And I could be dead wrong on this thing.
Well, I mean, but the voters still have to pass the hotel occupancy taxes, I believe, and stuff like that. Now, they should pass because it doesn't involve property taxes and stuff. I think there's the feeling of that, but they still have to go through a vote.
Well, it's interesting, and again, it should pass. The Spurs should have. We're San Antonio, and we should have a district like that. We should have a downtown area that is that you can go before games, after games, and the Alamo Dome needs to be improved. Look, the Alamo Dome is, my goodness, that place. It's been around for a while, first and foremost, and it needs to be upgraded. I know they've done some work in there, but with all the events that have happened in that building, I think it needs it. Look, I have no doubt, honestly, that if it needs a vote, it's going to get it. I just think I feel pretty certain about it because people don't want to lose this team. And but again, it remains to be seen. I'm going to look into that. And again, if anybody knows that, give me a call, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. And the question that I have, and I will research this in the next break to see if I can get a better answer for everybody that might not know, kind of like me, but I'm not sure that just the arena itself, with what the city council did for the state taxes and that they had to do, but they approved all of that. And if it's approved in Austin, I think the money comes and for a convention type arena type building, I think it's a done deal. But I'll research that. But if somebody knows the answer to that is smarter about city politics than I am and state politics, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you and get your thoughts on that. But I think this thing is going to happen.
I don't think there's any. You, Joe.
Sure, ask away.
As it pertains to like downtown and stuff, you go to things downtown every once in a while, whether it's a comedy show at the Aztec or a band venue, or even like the Final Four down at the Alamo Dome.
Sure, yeah.
Do you like walking around downtown at night?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, are you afraid to walk downtown at night?
Sometimes.
I guess it depends on where I'm at, but I mean, think about it. I was walking downtown not too long ago in New Orleans.
Sure.
That place will scare the hell out of you. I feel a lot safer in San Antonio than I do versus a place like that. I don't have any issues walking around downtown San Antonio at night or any other time for that matter. But it all depends on where you go. I'm sure there's some places that you probably shouldn't walk. But I think that's every downtown big city. it's just you got to know where those places are and avoid them. But no, I don't have any issue driving or walking around downtown. When we went to the Brad Williams show, the little person comedian, I was going to say midget pledge, and I thought, man, I better not say it. Somebody will get sensitive about that. But
and then he said it.
And then to the midget comedian, we walked around. We had dinner down there, and there was not an issue. And that was downtown, I guess, Houston Street area, where I guess it was the Aztec or the Majestic, one of those two places where he performed. Perfectly fine. Same with the Final Four walking around downtown. I don't have any issues with it. I think the city does a pretty good job with that, with security. Now, the other people may have some stories that I don't and some experiences that I don't and may feel differently about it, but I don't ever have any issue with that. I really don't. Have you had a bad experience, Pledge?
I just get weirded out sometimes. There is a population of people down there that are curled up in a ball out in front of closed down places. And sometimes they're screaming, and it makes you uncomfortable. Like, what are these people capable of as I'm maybe walking alone in that part of town?
Well, don't do that, Pledge. Don't walk alone in that part of town. Well, you should always have a partner.
I get you, but sometimes you got to go to a show alone.
Well, I suppose. I don't know. A good point, I suppose. But I think that's any downtown. No matter hell, I don't know if I'd walk around downtown Houston. Dallas, any big city. I think there's going to be some issues, perhaps, or potential issues. That's for sure. Again, Britton, with all due respect, I don't know. Britton Stacy on our YouTube page says, I run the federal building in the heart of the Marvel Project. And whether it needs a vote or not, they have already demolished the Cultural Arts Center, and we're giving this building to the city in September. So vote or no vote, this project is underway. I appreciate that, Britton. I do. And that's kind of what I think I read, that I don't know if all of it or a portion of it or just the Spurs arena may not require a vote to move forward. And I know that they have started some demolition down there. That Britton's absolutely true about that. And obviously Britton sees that every day working in the federal building. So I think this project is going to get done one way or the other. So we'll see what happens. I hope it does. It needs to. I'd like to see the downtown area be a sports centered area. I really would. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll get this done. And I'll do a little research, too, during the break, because I'm curious about that vote or no vote or what it's going to take. We may have a Dylan Harper on our team by the night's end, or really close to. I don't know if got a pregame at 6:30. Pledge. This thing started at 7 o'clock.
Yes,
or
sir.
Does the draft act? Okay, so the draft starts at 7 o'clock. So about 7:30, we're certainly going to know that Dylan Harper is a member of the San Antonio Spurs, and it may not even take that long. So with a Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, a De'Aaron Fox, and a Wemby, I think fans seeing that talent amassed and the hope that all of that brings, I think this thing is going to take place. We're going to hear from Dylan Harper about his experiences with the San Antonio Spurs, whether that is whether he wants to play here or not, how he feels about the Spurs, and what happened on his visit here to San Antonio, because he did come here and worked out with the San Antonio Spurs. And we're going to do all of that when we continue from the Roo Pub. Steak night here at the Roo Pub as we get ready for the NBA draft on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jason Minix here. You know me. You know the Roo Pub is my go-to spot. No better place to go watch any big game, any big event than the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you go into the Roo Pub, go hungry. The food is fantastic. I love the fried shrimp on the menu. They have the biggest and best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. And they have that new bison burger that is outstanding. Maybe you want a chicken sandwich, great appetizers, great salads. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Road. They have all the beers you want and a full bar. The game room has the best darts area in town and indoor cornhole. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Uber Eats has deals all summer long. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans or CVS and make the most of every moment. That sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $749.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders, our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our 2 caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
So happy you're joining us on this Hump Day Wednesday, NBA Draft Day. Happy you're spending a little bit of time with us here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has the day off today. He's on vacation, so hopefully he's enjoying that up in the great northwest of Seattle, in that area up there. So we wish him all the best. NBA Draft Day, an exciting day. I tell you what, I'm quite surprised, quite honestly, that we haven't heard of some kind of drama, something that has happened. With a lot of rumors out there, there's a lot of smoke, but there just has not been any fire just yet today, and certainly expecting some of that. Maybe it's going to be until we get into the draft process tonight that some of that stuff happens, or could be done already, but just announced tonight. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But either way, it should be exciting. Now, look, Cooper Flagg is going to go #1. Duke, they already spilled the beans and ruined it all for us, sending out a tweet congratulating Dallas on the Cooper Flagg deal. So thanks, Duke. Way to go. I mean, we needed a little drama there. Dylan Harper, most likely, it appears now, is going to go to the San Antonio Spurs at number 2. And there's always that debate, and I had it now, especially when all of this first came out and people were saying this is a done deal, it's going to happen, guy's too good of a talent, yada, 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 right? And my only comment was, look, I mean, he doesn't fill a need. So it comes down to that thing. Do you draft the guy because he's the best player available, or do you take him to fulfill a need? Well, obviously the Spurs think that he is good enough that it appears at this point in time that that's who they're going to take with that number 2 overall pick. Because quite frankly, when you're looking at what they have and what they're going to have, if they do pull the trigger and draft him with De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle, I mean, you're going to have 3 guys that are pretty much the same guy. They're all great players, no doubt, but they're kind of the same. So the Spurs are going to have to figure out how they're going to want to use that and how they're going to put him in and make everything mesh. Still, though, even with all of that said, there are needs that need to be filled. Yeah, I mean, the Spurs need shooting. They need scoring from the outside. They need somebody who can space the floor. I would say they need another big man. So there's a lot of needs still to come on this team before I think that they're a true championship contender. Jason and I disagree on the Spurs as constructed right now. I don't think they're a playoff team. I don't. He thinks the addition of De'Aaron Fox made them a playoff team. I certainly don't. I don't agree with that. I think they've got some needs that need to be fulfilled. But what the De'Aaron Fox deal did was tell me that they're kind of thinking along those lines. Because why else do you pull the trigger on that if you're determined to wait and just let these guys develop together and form a team over the next, 2, 3, 4 years? I don't think that that's what they're doing. I think they're going to add the pieces, and they're going to get it done. And one of those pieces could very well be Dylan Harper with that number 2 pick. And he was at the media day yesterday, the NBA Draft Media Day, which all the guys were. But obviously we're concerned about Dylan Harper. And he just talked about his thoughts on the San Antonio Spurs.
I mean, they were great. I mean, great organization, great people all around from top to bottom. I guess just want to check me out again. I mean, I love them people, love the coaching staff, love the manager, everything about them. So, I mean, they got a really good program. They got a really good thing going on over there.
Really good thing going on over there. I'd like to have a little better thing going on over there, that's for sure. Call me crazy. I'd like to see something happen sooner rather than later. We'll see what happens. But Castle actually paid a visit to San Antonio, worked out for the Spurs, and he was asked how that went.
I mean, you could just feel the family atmosphere when you walk in the facility. I mean, for them, it's really like how can we get chemistry up and how can we keep everyone together? So, I mean, my visit there was definitely great. And for them, it's just like they're trying to build on and win. I mean, if I'm blessed enough to be in a situation like that, I mean, I think I can add value to that.
Well, we'll see. You're going to get that opportunity, young man. That's for sure. He was also asked about other Spurs players, and did he have an opportunity to visit with any of the other guys that are already here?
Yeah. I mean, I talked to Stephon Castle a couple of times. Johan. I mean, I've talked to a few people over there, met a couple guys, but I mean, they're all cool. It just looks like a great and fun environment to be a part of.
Yeah, well, it does. I mean, I'll give them that. They look like they have a good time, all of these guys. They do. So I think he's right there. But I think this environment for him, and I think what it is, and this is no disrespect to any other NBA franchise, but I think what this is a stable environment. When you look at the San Antonio Spurs and their reputation, it's a family. You get drafted here or traded here or brought in as a free agent here, you're treated as a member of the family. That's Greg Popovich has always done that, and I have no reason to believe that Mitch Johnson is not going to continue that tradition. I mean, you are a member of the family, and it's like, hey, I can talk about you or correct you, but nobody else better do that. And that's kind of the way the Spurs have been run. And so I think that tradition will continue. I don't think there's any question about it. So we know that Dylan Harper is a family guy. We know all about his father, a former NBA player, but I didn't know until recently that his mother was actually his coach in high school.
I mean, I got a bunch of stories. I mean, I got a story like sophomore year. No, that's junior year. It was first game junior year. I must have been playing terrible. Like, she is cursing me out on the sideline. And, like, there's a video. You can see my face, and I look so mad. And then I don't think I talked to her for the next, 3 days until we had another game, and then I played well, and now I was like, all right, I'm good now.
How has she shaped you as a player? She's the first one that put a ball in your hands, right?
I mean, she didn't let me shoot a jump shot until, 5th, 6th grade. So, I mean, it was all getting to the basket. No, there was no jump shots. So, I mean, just stuff like that. Just my ability to get to the rim, I think that's where I really get it from.
Interesting. But the jump shot, she didn't let him develop until later. Maybe that's why he's not the best jump shooter in the world, but he is very good at penetrating and getting to the basket. And then he's a great passer too, from the things that I've seen. So the guy has a lot of upside. There's no question about it. Again, it's just going to come up to Mitch Johnson and his coaching staff to figure out how to best utilize the guys that they have with Harper and Fox and Castle. And maybe they're sitting in a lab back there in Spursville at the Rock that they're saying, man, we can do all of this kind of stuff. And we got diagrams for this and diagrams for that. And look at all the things we're going to be able to do with these three talented young men. And maybe that's what they're doing. I've heard a lot of people talk about comparisons, and I hate to compare, especially when you've got young guys. But everything that I heard was Dylan Harper's the next James Harden. Or Dylan Harper's the next Cade Cunningham. Or Dylan Harper's this, or he's that. I hate to compare players like that because, look, all of those guys that I just mentioned are their own guy. And Dylan Harper's going to be his own guy. But he was asked that question about pro comparisons and what he thinks.
I mean, definitely. I mean, big guards like James Harden, Cade Cunningham, Luka Doncic, that just get to their spots and know how to run the team.
Luka Doncic, that was a guy that I didn't throw in there as well. The difference with Doncic and Harper is Harper actually knows what defense is, where Luka does not. But if you are an offensive player like Luka Doncic, that certainly can go a long way. There's no question about that. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I just have a hard time comparing. James Harden was a great player in his own right, obviously. Cade Cunningham is becoming a great player in his own right. And I guess if you're talking about styles, maybe it's a fair comparison to compare guys that are coming up now as to what they are. I have done it, especially with NFL players, and say, well, that guy kind of reminds me of a so-and-so. And so maybe that's fair. But look, by the time it's all said and done, if Dylan Harper is a success, whether that's in San Antonio or elsewhere or however that shakes out, he's going to be his own style. And they'll be comparing young players to him after it's all said and done. So I just don't like the whole comparison thing. This guy is a great athlete, left-handed, which – I don't know. I mean, that's pretty unusual, I think, in the NBA. I can't think of a lot of guys that are left-handed at this point in time. But it maybe that causes some confusion for some NBA players. Remains to be seen. It appears Dylan Harper is going to be a San Antonio Spur by the time we end the night tonight. It's just a question of what are they going to do with that 14th overall pick. That's the only drama I think that we have, at least at this point, sitting right here at this moment with the San Antonio Spurs. So I wanted to get to know Dylan Harper a little bit better. So we wanted to go out, reach out to somebody that perhaps knows him a lot better than certainly I do, you do, and everybody else does. We know what he can do on the floor. What about the rest of it? So earlier today, we got a chance to speak with his college head coach. Steve Pikel is his name. He is the head coach at Rutgers. He's been at Rutgers for a long time. And he talked to us a little bit earlier, and we're going to hear from him. If you didn't get a chance to hear it earlier, you're going to get a chance to do it coming up. Steve Pikel, Rutgers head coach, coming up next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, draft day come and gone. Let's talk about the Spurs haul. We're only halfway done. There is a day two. We'll look at where they're headed in that direction and around the rest of the league. But to start early, you got to get here. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
School's out, summer's in, and that vacation countdown is officially on. But what about your four-legged MVP? Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuit in Selma has your furry family member covered. Daycare, boarding, grooming, and training, they've got it all. They're built for your pet's health, happiness, and tail-wagging good times. If you're in the military, your teacher, or your first responder, they've got barking good exclusive discounts. So go ahead, book that trip, hit the beach, crush your summer plans. Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuit has your pet in good hands. Because home away from home isn't just for humans. Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuits in Selma.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast, and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated, because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Are you a chronic interrupter? Incapable of letting other people talk? Do those people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have a 120-night sleep trial, so you can get your money back if a bed's not right. That way, anyone, even someone like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
It is finally here. It is draft day for the NBA, and a lot of excitement for the San Antonio Spurs with the number 2 overall pick. By all indications, it is going to be Dylan Harper out of Rutgers will be the selection at number 2. So we thought we'd go and get to talk to a guy that knows him perhaps maybe better than any of us do, and that's his head coach at Rutgers, Steve Pikel. He's joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Coach Pikel, first of all, we appreciate you taking some time to join us here on the Blitz.
Hey, excited to be on.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. We've all seen Dylan Harper play. We know what he's like on the basketball floor. Very talented young man, obviously. But what is Dylan Harper like off the basketball court?
Well, first of all, the Spurs are a first-class organization, and Dylan Harper is a first-class young man. Great family, obviously, unbelievable bloodlines. His dad was an all-time great, and I actually got to coach his brother, Ron, who's with the Detroit Pistons for 4 years, and had a great college career. He's going to be a good pro, too. And Dylan, just more of the same, of a hard-working family, loves basketball. He is awesome off the court, very involved in the community, going to cancer centers, going to hospitals, going into schools, reading, having clinics and doing clinics for, his hometown and, all kinds of different stuff that he's involved with. So, you're going to find him really, really personable, funny. And on the court, you'll realize quickly how talented he is, and he is very talented for a young player.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Pikel, you just watch. You don't have to watch long to see that he is incredibly talented. When you get him on the floor, is there anything that you limit him doing? It just seems like he can do just about everything.
I mean, and I only had him for 9 months. I wish the old days I would have kept him for 2 or 3 years maybe. So, but in that time frame, I mean, first of all, he's in the gym and he's been working out with pros his whole life. One of the advantages of having a brother in the NBA and a father, he's been to all the camps, Steph Curry camp and the Chris Paul camp and the travels and the McDonald's All-American game and the Jordan Brand game. So he's played pros almost his whole life. And what he does well is he can really score the basketball at the rim. He's a lefty, but he's just as good with his right hand. He has a unique knack of finishing at the rim around shot blockers. I've never been around a player like that. And I played at UConn, and I was on some staffs at UConn with a lot of pros, and never quite saw a kid, get in traffic and be able to finish the way this kid can. And then he's a very good passer, great IQ. He's 6'6". He's got a terrific body. And his teammates are going to love him. He can defend. He can shoot the ball too, and has worked very hard, at that, and can play a lot of positions. So Spurs are getting a really versatile guy who's a winner, likes the last shot too. Will take it, has great nerves, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with him. He's really, really a fun guy to be around and an excellent basketball player.
Yeah, Coach, I know that a lot of Spurs fans are excited to get Dylan Harper in a Spurs uniform. We're visiting with Steve Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers. And Coach, one of the things that people concern themselves with, some Spurs fans and others, that he comes into a situation here in San Antonio where there's Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. So you've got maybe it's rich people problems. I don't know, but you got a lot of guards that are very similar in that respect. Do you think Dylan would have any problem fitting into a group like that?
As a matter of fact, I think he's like the perfect fit, between those two players. He really is. I mean, he's got elite size, so he's big. He can play off the ball, around the ball. He can defend multiple positions. He's a big-time scorer, but when I needed him to be a big-time playmaker, he has the, talent and the ability to pass the ball at a high level. And with Victor and with the guys you have around, very willing passer and a terrific basketball IQ. So, I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. He's going to find his way on the court, and he'll fit seamlessly. He's a good teammate, too. And he'll like playing with those guys. And I think they'll all like playing with him.
Coach Pikel, I wonder, did he ever talk to you about his life in the NBA and maybe where would be a good fit for him? Did you guys ever have those conversations?
You know what? I tell you what, he's such a unique kid. I mean, he wasn't one of those kids, I've known him since he was really little. Like I said, we had Ron on the team, his brother. So I saw him kind of grow up from, 7th, 8th grade, on. And he was one of those kids that wasn't highly rated. Like, he wasn't one of those guys. He just worked and moved up the rankings to be, I think he was the best freshman in college. He was the MVP of the McDonald's game and the Jordan Brand game, which everyone played in, and he was on the USA national team. So playing against all of these guys, and was the leading scorer there too. So, watching him grow through the years, just saw him just keep fighting and working hard to play in the NBA, and that was always his dream. He kind of grew up around it, and I think the icing on the cake is to play for an organization like the Spurs, that first class and good basketball people. They'll appreciate his basketball knowledge and in a great city. And I know he's very, very excited. And, his dream is just to, play in that league and the bonus you get to go to a team like that with Victor and Castle and all these terrific players.
No doubt. We're visiting with Coach Steve Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers. And Coach, I find it funny. I know he was at Media Day yesterday, Dylan was, and he was talking about his mom's influence on his game. Said she taught him quite a bit. Were you able to see some of that?
Oh, his mom's a star too. First of all, one of the best parents I've ever dealt with. I've been coaching now for 33 years. Really did an unbelievable job with all of our kids. But, does it in the right way, like drives them and demands a lot and, wants them to be really good, but, wants them to be first class. And, she was a player herself. The dad gets a lot of accolades. The mom was a very good player, and she's a very good coach. She's been the high school coach there and is an assistant. She's run her own AAU programs. So, she's a wonderful mom. I think she's enjoying just being a mom right now and going to continue being a mom. And she really helped mold him, into the player and more importantly, the person that he is.
Coach Pikel, when you first saw Dylan and he got on the court, and obviously you've seen him grown up, as you've mentioned, but did it ever surprise you, just the talent that he displayed and some of the things that he could do? Did any of that ever surprise you?
You know what? I just kept seeing him grow with his game, so I got a unique perspective. As a freshman, seeing his body grow, him becoming a really good defender. If you were the McDonald's All-American game, he was by far the best defender on the floor. His shot and his shot selection, and then he just continues to grow too physically. I mean, these kids are young, 18 years old when they played for me. So his shoulders are getting bigger. I mean, he has a chance to continue to keep growing. But I've seen his game evolve to the point where, he can play obviously against anybody at any time. And he's got a real competitiveness, a quiet confidence and a competitiveness that's going to help him, succeed for a long time, playing basketball. And I think he's going to do some tremendous things for the Spurs.
Steve Pikel joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And, Coach, before I let you go, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Ace Bailey. And obviously, you could have two players in the top 5 tonight. That has certainly been out there in some of the mock drafts. What is Ace like?
Ace, high energy, awesome, an awesome kid, but, huge smile. again, another kid as a freshman. I saw him early on and just kept, getting better. Loves the gym, but truly one of the most exciting players in the draft. I mean, does things that block shots and dunks and quick release on his threes. Can get a shot off at any time, and truly long wingspans. Has a chance. I think one GM said by the most upside, and I would agree has as much upside as anybody in this year's draft class, and just another first class kid, and one high school. This is the great part about these two kids. One high school in a day and age where some kids have gone to 7. One high school, one AAU program, one university. So they got a little old school in them, both kids, and I think that old school is going to help them, in this new school world.
Well, Coach Pikel, I would assume you're a very proud man today. The NBA draft is going to have Rutgers written all over it.
It's a great day for Rutgers, which is a great university with great people and top 15 public university. So 90,000 applicants this year to get into Rutgers. So these guys help the application pool a ton.
No doubt about it. Coach Steve Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers, we appreciate you taking some time to join us here in San Antonio.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Pikel, the head coach at Rutgers, head basketball coach there. And, of course, Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper played for him for 1 year. They didn't have a great year, but nonetheless, he got to know him a little bit. All guests, including Coach Pikel, appear via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. I found it interesting there. He gave a little commercial for Rutgers University. Don't know how many people would – is anybody from around here go to Rutgers University? Fine university, I'm sure, but it's a long way, right? Isn't that like way in the Northeast someplace, far, far away from San Antonio? But we appreciate Coach Pikel coming on with us today. Apparently, he did a bunch of interviews today. When I called the SID, he said, yeah, well, I'm sitting here doing this, and we're just passing the phone around pretty much from interview after interview. He was a popular guy today, no doubt about it, with his two players possibly going in the top 5 at tonight's draft. We know Harper most likely is going to go at number 2. Ace Bailey, who was kind of a donkey, I guess, throughout the process, didn't work out for a lot of teams. And his stock has fallen a little bit. I don't think there's any question about that, although Brooklyn appears to have their eyes on Ace Bailey. So we'll see how that all plays out tonight. I think it's going to be fascinating to see, but the draft really begins, unless something crazy happens, with the 3rd pick in the draft in Philadelphia. So we'll have to wait and see. I tell you what, the more I get to know about this kid, this Dylan Harper kid, I understand, I guess, why the Spurs are going to do that. Talented dude, seems like a great guy. He's got his head on his shoulders right, and is does work out in the community. All Spurs-like stuff. And so I can see where the Spurs are interested in this guy, from what he can do on the court to what he does off the court. Family guy. Ron Harper played in the NBA. His mom, a basketball player, we found out today. So all of those things kind of seem very Spurs-like. So I can see the attraction to one Dylan Harper. So it looks like he's coming here. Hopefully he works out. Hopefully he can figure it out. By the way, all the players, I just saw a video on Twitter, getting off a bus. They all rode down to the Barclays Center together. All of them with their fancy suits getting off the bus. They're, you got some jewelry on with some of them. You got, but all of them looking sharp. They look like they all went out and bought new suits for today's action. I don't know. It's funny, Pledge, because I just wonder, and we'll pick on Jason for a minute. Jason, put him in a position that he would never be a guy that would be in the NBA draft lottery. We know this. So we're talking fantasy land here. But Minix would have on a half zip and blue jeans getting off that bus, where the rest of these guys are coming out all decked out and they look fancy and they look sharp. I can see Minix getting off the bus with tennis shoes, blue jeans, and a half zip on.
I can absolutely see that.
Yeah, that would be him. But all these guys look pretty sharp getting off that bus. But they're all there at the Barclays Center getting ready for the NBA draft.
Wear blue jeans or shorts?
Depends on how what the weather's like. I think he might dress up and put on a pair of blue jeans, quite frankly.
Is it dressing up if you're wearing blue jeans? If
No,
the
not
alternative is a pair of nice shorts, like the kind of khaki-looking shorts?
Well, not as far as I'm concerned, it's not. But we're talking about Jason Minix here. So, fashion and Minix just don't mix. It's like oil and water. Right? I mean, oil and water when it comes to Minix and high fashion, for sure. But no, I'm happy to see these guys. By the way, you can listen to the draft here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It all begins at 6:30, right after extra innings with Pledge. So if you can't get by a TV, and if you are by a TV, you can listen to the broadcast here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Ought to be fascinating. Ought to be interesting. There's a lot of rumors floating around out there. No deals, at least, have been announced other than what we talked about yesterday with Kristaps Porzingis. Drew Holiday, I saw a report today, Pledge, that Holiday's not happy that he got traded away to the Portland Trailblazers. And I guess, well, I don't think so. Not from Boston, a team that won a championship and has the potential of that unless they get rid of everybody.
Here, I'm going to tell you
Portland
something I
Trailblazers.
think Joe Reinagle would tell him. Open up your phone, look at your bank account, and suck it up.
That's a good point. That's a damn good point. Yeah, he's making a ton of money, and Portland. I don't know what the cost of living is in Portland, but it might be a little bit better than what it is in Boston. Perhaps, I'm not sure, but you never know. Look, you play basketball for a living. I get it. You don't want to go to Portland. Maybe you liked it in Boston, and but yeah, I heard that report today that he wasn't happy. He didn't want to go to Portland. But, it's a life as a professional athlete. Sometimes you get traded away to places you don't want to go. Take that number 2 that used to play here in San Antonio, traded away to Toronto. He didn't want to go there, but he made the most of it. I got to give him credit. Made the most of it. Went up there, won an NBA championship, and then shipped his butt off to Los Angeles, is where he wanted to go to begin with. So it all works out. Just do the best you can and get the hell out of there as quickly as you can. Hey, right now though, we got some tickets to give away. Bricks in the Wall, the sight and sound of Pink Floyd live, June 28th at the Aztec Theater. That's coming up June 28th, which is just 3 days away. What's today, the 25th? Is that Saturday night?
That is.
Saturday night at the Aztec Theater, Bricks in the Wall. You're a Pink Floyd fan and you'd like to go see this, all you have to do is be caller number 7 at 210-656-3776, 656 ESPN. Caller number 7 will win Bricks in the Wall tickets, the sight and sound of Pink Floyd live, June 28th at the Aztec Theater. Get in on that, everybody, will you? You Pink Floyd fan, Pledge?
Yeah, I can mess with Pink Floyd.
I guess it's okay. There's some songs I like, some that I don't.
Need no education.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that, Pledge. So don't ever do it again. I tell you what is something I am a huge fan of is the Roo Pub here at 281 in Redland Road. I'm a huge fan of the Roo Pub for everything, but I'm certainly a big fan of the Roo Pub on steak night, and that's what Wednesdays are. It is steak night here at the Roo Pub. If you haven't had it, you need to come down here and grab you a steak. $20 for a huge ribeye steak that they'll cook any way that you want it done. I've had it several times here at the Roo Pub, and it is fantastic. Get on down here, get you a good seat for the NBA draft, which is coming up. We're getting close. It's almost 5 o'clock, and we're getting close. So get on down here, get yourself situated with a steak and a cold beer or whatever kind of drink you fancy. Doesn't make any difference. Come on down and join us here at the Roo Pub. That's where we are. We're here broadcasting till 6 o'clock, but there's a good chance I'm going to stick around, have a cold beer or two before it's all said and done, and probably a steak as well. So come on down and join us here, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is KTFM Floresville and streaming online at sasportstar.com.
If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC at 210-651-5899. At Quarter Moon, they are full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions. And right now, you want to make sure your AC is tuned up and ready to go for the hot summer months. Hit the jackpot with comfort with their Lucky 7's AC tune-up for just $77. It's a 7-point AC inspection that includes a check of your capacitor, indoor coil, and outdoor coil inspection. They will change your air filter, air supply temperature check, clear of the condensate draining line, and refrigerant level inspection. Get that on the schedule and make sure you're ready to go before the hot summer months are here. Call Quarter Moon at 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Want to know the secret to getting the best price fireworks for the 4th? 2 words. Mr. W Fireworks.
We've got pre-tariff pricing. Only at Mr. W will you find fireworks at the same prices as last year.
We don't charge hidden fees. And we never hike our prices.
Just the lowest prices anywhere, guaranteed.
More fireworks for less money. It sounds good, right? Find our location at MrWFireworks.com.
The secret to getting the best priced fireworks is at Mr. W Fireworks with pre-tariff prices.
Nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
4th of July savings are here at the Home Depot, so it's time to get your grilling on. Pick up the Traeger Pro Series 22 pellet grill and smoker, now on special buy for $389, was $549. Smoke a rack of ribs or bake an apple pie. This grill is versatile enough to do it all. This summer, no matter how you like your steaks, your barbecues are guaranteed to be well done. Celebrate 4th of July with fast free delivery on select grills right now at the Home Depot. Subject to availability.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6.
Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial.
What's that?
Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it was the big news, and it broke a little earlier this afternoon. Texas state officials have informed the Sun Belt they're expecting an offer from the Pac-12 in the near future. Talks between Texas State and the Pac-12 have intensified over the last 24 hours. And according to a report via French website Le Parisien, I hope that's how you say it, Victor Wembanyama will not participate in Eurobasket 2025 with Team France.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Not only are we at the Roo Pub, on a Wednesday. It's hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Yeah. It's a great Wednesday afternoon, and we're so happy that you've taken some time to join us here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has the day off today, but it is a big day. We are here at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, and we're here for the NBA draft because anytime there is a big event, we're here at the Roo Pub. It's the place to be with their giant screens over there. Their cold drinks all over the place. The food is fantastic. And tonight, it's even better than that. It is steak night here at the Roo Pub. A fantastic ribeye steak. You can get that and the side all for under $20. It is the best deal in San Antonio, bar none. So you need to get down here and join us here at the Blitz. Grumpy-ass Greg Shelton engineering this program today. We're happy to have him here, kind of. And James Pledger back at the station in the glass box of fun, joining us there and doing what he does. And I told you this, I thought this was Wimbledon going on here, Pledge. Because here at the Roo Pub, what's awesome about this is the fact they've got the big screens we always talk about, but there's TVs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can sit anywhere in the Roo Pub, and you're going to have a great seat at whatever you want. So right now, when there's nothing else going on, we're waiting for the draft. We got, obviously ESPN's on, but you got some golf going on. You got some other things. Plus, you've got a tennis match over here. I thought it was Wimbledon because they're playing on grass. And it's not Wimbledon. And Greg Shelton actually pointed this out to me. It's the Eastbourne Open or something like that, like a prequel to that. All I saw was grass, and I thought they were at Wimbledon, but that hadn't started yet. It starts a little bit later. It typically comes in July. So it happens a little bit later. But I'm watching this women's match, and the one girl there was very shiny. I mean, honestly, very shiny. And I found out, and I feel a little bit better about it because, as you just heard from Livy Dunn there, this girl's 22 years old. So I don't feel as quite like the creeper that I could if
Thanks,
she would have
Joe
been.
Belichick.
I don't. Hey, trust me, Pledge. I'm not Belichick, so there's no way I would have a chance with anybody that age. Old dog chasing a car, man. I've said that before. Not very seriously. I can catch you, and if I did, I wouldn't know what the hell to do with you. So, but it's
There's
a
little hole in the trunk where it can go through.
Exactly. I won't be kidnapping anybody either. So my golf clubs are in my trunk. There's no room for anybody else. But it's interesting, and she lost. And the crappy thing about that is I'm sitting here rooting for this girl, hoping she wins, because she was ranked number 7, and the other girl was not ranked at all. And so the unranked girl beat the girl that was ranked number 7. So I'm sitting there watching. Oh, it was an upset, apparently. I'm watching this going, this is great. It's a good match, and I really hope this girl wins. And Sheldon says, I'm sorry, Joe, but she lost. So I guess this was a replay. It's like he just spoiled the whole damn thing. And I don't know why, this guy pulls wings off of butterflies. I'm convinced of it just for fun.
Well, you should be lucky, Joe.
Why?
He could have been like, I'll bet you $20. See,
I guess he could have done that.
He missed out. He missed an opportunity. Like, I'll bet you lunch the other girl wins.
Yeah, he could have done that. He really could have done that, and so I guess I appreciate that. But I'm, thinking this is a hell of a match. And well, the girl that's shiny didn't win. The other girl, not horrible looking, but I mean, she's not shiny. There's a difference.
She wasn't shiny.
No, she wasn't shiny at all.
Oh,
but I mean, she wasn't horrendous either. But it was. But she was good. The other girl, I don't know where she's from. Did you find out where she's from? Britain. She's from Britain, but she looked almost like, I don't know, she'd not Swedish. She looked, how am I going to say? I'm a little Asian kind of, and maybe, I'm correct. Okay. According to Greg Shelton, who's done extensive research on this shiny girl, her mother's Romanian, and her father's Romanian, and the mother is Chinese, he believes. So that would explain that. But Very nice. I've never seen that girl before, but I'll have to become a fan. Although I couldn't pronounce her name at all. It's Rona Canoe or something. Rona Canoe, Kinnick. Something like that. Well, I don't know. It could be. I'm not sure. But anyway, she lost today, so my heart's broken. And Shelton ripped it out. So told me she lost before she lost. I still watched, though, just to make sure that he was telling me the truth. I mean, I couldn't turn away from this thing. And before you get crazy, I'm doing the show, yes, obviously, and there's TVs all over the place here at the Roo Pub. But this one is right to my left, and I mean, I'm right here, and it's very difficult to turn away from that. But yeah, this was very nice. But now, unfortunately, she's out of the tournament, and I don't get to stare at her anymore until maybe Wimbledon or something like that. But that's the way it is. We're supposed to be here for the NBA draft anyway. Concentrate, Ryan Eagle, will you? Concentrate. You got to do your job over here. All right? Yeah, do that. We're getting close, Pledge. We're getting really close to the draft. A couple hours away from the start of the draft. Although we get you started here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star at 6:30, right after an abbreviated version of Extra Innings with Pledge. So you can listen to it, or you come down here to the Roo Pub. You can watch it. You can listen to it here at the Roo Pub. Whatever you want to do, but just get close. I'm a little bit, and I don't know, I never really got a good answer from any of y'all that are listening, whether you're driving around or on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page or however, but does it bother you as a Spurs fan? And bother may not be the right word, but is it kind of anticlimactic as a Spurs fan that you already know basically 99.9% sure of who the Spurs are taking at number 2? I kind of like having a choice. Well, maybe it's this guy or maybe it's that guy or maybe they'll do this or do that. It doesn't look like they're going to do anything. Does that bother you at all, Pledge?
The fact that we know?
Yeah.
No, we knew Wemby was going to be number 1.
Yeah, but that's different.
How?
That's different.
We're hearing very similar things about Dylan Harper right now.
Oh, stop it. Now, wait a second. Now we got to draw the line there. Dylan Harper's no Victor Wembanyama. I mean, come on. Right? I mean, do you honestly believe that he's
no, but in
on
terms
that same
of
level?
Where he is in this draft class compared to the rest of it, there is a very, very, I'm not even going to call it a gap, gorge between Dylan Harper and the next player.
So that's okay. So because the Dallas Mavericks made a huge blunder by letting Luka Doncic go away for, I don't know, an aging NBA player. Let's just say that. I won't say a ham sandwich, but an aging NBA player. And they have no choice but to take Cooper Flagg. So if you're saying that, and that's the reality of the situation, if that wouldn't have been the case and the Mavericks, the same situation had taken place, would they have a choice between Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper?
I don't think so. I do think there is a gap between Flagg and Harper. It's just a lot wider between Harper and the next best player.
So this kid from Baylor is getting a lot of love, this VJ Edgecombe.
Yep.
Every mock draft, and I just saw one come out just a few minutes ago, that he's going to go number 3 to Philadelphia. At least that's what the mock draft has, although I think Philadelphia is into wheeling and dealing a little bit. And it's not going to be the Spurs because they've already contacted the Spurs. So I don't know. I like him. Ace Bailey in this latest mock draft has gone all the way down to number 6 to Washington. Yeah, because of that fact. I mean, the guy didn't work out for anybody. And I'm wondering how that's going to play out because I don't think Washington is a spot that he actually cherishes. So I'm wondering how that's going to work out when it comes. Could we have some drama that way? All I'm saying is that, look, when you talk about Dylan Harper, especially to a lot of Spurs fans, I mean, this guy's like the next coming of I don't know. Well, James Harden has been mentioned, but that this guy's good in 1A, 1B. And so if there's not that much difference, I mean, it honestly begs the question, if Dallas hadn't screwed up, would there be a choice for whoever has the number one pick? That's all I'm saying. And the Spurs seem pretty convinced. So if the Spurs had a choice, if the Spurs had the number one pick right now, it'd be Cooper Flag all the way.
All the way.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess there is a little bit of difference there. So I don't want to hear 1A, 1B from anybody anymore, because that's obviously not the case. There's clearly a number one, and there's clearly a number two. So Dylan Harper is clearly second best when it comes to Cooper Flag.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. I see that answers the question.
Arguing that.
Well, I think some people are. When I hear a 1A and 1B, it's like, well, they're right there together. They're close.
1A, 1B, it's a lot like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. It's a 1A and a 1B. There's a clear A and a clear B, but they are both number one receivers.
That's different. That's a lot different. So if you had to, you got a starting five. Cooper Flag's in there, and you've got everybody else that you want. You're saying, and you're going to have Dylan Harper come off the bench.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Look, your example, and I get where you're trying to go there, but I don't think it applies in this situation. 1A, 1B is, when I say 1A and 1B, I mean, they're close. It's like neck and neck. And then I guess Cooper Flag just wins by a nose. See, when I hear that, that's what I hear. But if the Spurs had the number one pick, they take Cooper Flag. If Philadelphia had the number one pick, would they take Cooper Flag? I'm assuming they would. So what I'm saying is Cooper Flag then is clearly better than Dylan Harper, at least as we sit here today.
I do believe, according to the eye test and everything else, that Cooper Flag, whether it's floor, ceiling, whatever metric you want to use, has the brighter NBA future.
Well, that doesn't make me feel very good as a Spurs fan.
I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's a lot like any other draft. There's going to be a guy that you're going to feel a lot better about than the next guy. Doesn't mean the next guy can't be great.
No, and sometimes the number two guy, as the Houston Texans know, turns out to be better than the guy everybody thought was number one. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen here. I firmly believe that Cooper Flag is going to be a great NBA player. I saw this guy in person. I mean, it's one thing to see him on TV. I've never seen Dylan Harper, truth be told, in person. I've seen him on video. But Cooper Flag, watching him and zeroing in on him specifically, as I did when the Final Four was here, that dude, I mean, he's pretty amazing with what he can do, where he spots up, how he can pass the ball. He plays defense. I mean, all of those things. So to me, yes, it's a clear-cut 1-2. I've just heard a lot of people say 1A, 1B, and to me that means that they're neck and neck, and I don't think that they are. We're bringing up Cooper Flag, though, right?
Sure.
So, and we everybody loves to compare. You know, who's he like? What's he remind you of? What's his comparison? Well, big old Kendrick Perkins has a theory when it comes to Cooper Flag. We'll hear from Big Perk when we continue here on the Blitz from the Roo Pub, where it is steak night and it is NBA draft night and all of those kinds of things. You need to get on down here, 281 and Redland Road. We'll talk about Big Perk when we continue here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I got to tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing and Solar because, well, first of all, they're a family-owned company. They're a local company and love supporting local businesses. And a lot of people do when it comes to Stevens Roofing because Stevens Roofing has been in business here in San Antonio and South Texas for a very long time. And in the roofing business, you don't stay in business if you're not doing it right. Stevens Roofing certainly is doing it right. Their reputation is beyond belief. It's incredible what they do. They are incredible, folks. Right now is a great time to get your roof checked out. Look, we've had a bunch of storms. We've had some stuff like that, and you know the heat's coming. It's San Antonio. It's mid-June. The heat's coming. We still got July, August, September. It's going to be hot. You want to make sure that your roof is up to the challenge of whatever Mother Nature has to throw at it. So here's what I suggest. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They will send out an experienced crew. They'll get up on your roof and they will inspect every inch of that roof, and they'll let you know, hey, you got a problem over here. We might need to take care of that. You need a new roof. This roof has had it. We suggest a new roof, or your roof is in fine shape. You have no issues. Everything is A-OK. The good thing about Stevens Roofing and Solar, this is a free, no obligation inspection. So you should use Stevens Roofing, but you certainly don't have to. They're going to let you know what's wrong and what needs to be taken care of. Give them a call, 210-785-0994. You can also visit them online at stevensroofing.net. Either way, you can get that free inspection scheduled that way. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
The Morning Huddle.
Rob's toes are like, I've got gorilla foot, I think is the best. They're almost permanently put into a hook. That's what it kind of is. I have my right foot. It's turning into a hook 'em. Yeah. I think it's more of a rock and roll. One more Aggie curse, and thou shalt have right-footed Longhorn.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Imagine owning coastal land with ocean views and world-class fishing just off Matagorda Bay. Well, dream no more. This Saturday, mark your calendars for a pre-4th of July one-day coastal land sale at Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. We're unveiling incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1+ acre bay access from $49.9. Waterfront properties starting at $99.9. Or with a barn dominium from just $169.9. Wow! This gated community boasts a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch with paved roads and underground utilities. It's all happening this Saturday. 1+ acre bay access from $49.9. Waterfront properties from $99.9 with barn dominium for only $169.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing is available. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Freedom starts with land, and land like this won't last long.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
When it comes to keeping your pumps running smooth, L&S Pump Repair has you covered. 24/7 on-site service for saltwater disposal and pump repairs. From Quintaplex to H-Pumps, they've got parts ready and the skills to get you back in the game fast. Need a whole new pump package? L&S builds custom skid packages too. Don't let knocking pumps or slow flow slow you down. Call L&S Pump Repair 936-853-3810. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
High note, never leaving on a high note.
The high road. Sometimes the high road works out. Most of the time it does, but sometimes you got to go low. I don't know. Maybe not. Not sure. Hi, everybody. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are live at the Roo Pub this afternoon because, well, of course we are. It's a big event, and we're always live at the Roo Pub for a big event. NBA Draft Night. It is a Wednesday. It is Hump Day. And
Hump Day.
That's why we're here. It's a extra special Hump Day because, number one, the NBA draft. Number two, we're here at the Roo Pub. And number three, it's steak night here at the Roo Pub. Every Wednesday night is steak night here at the Roo Pub, and it is the best deal in San Antonio. A big ribeye steak, cooked any way you want it, and I'm telling you, it is a good steak. I've had it many times. It's fantastic. Get on out here. Folks are starting to assemble here at the Roo Pub, getting their seats and getting ready for the NBA draft. We're a little less than 2 hours away now from the NBA draft, so could be some excitement. And, of course, if you're a Spurs fan, we most likely know who the Spurs are taking at number 2, but then there's that number 14 pick. Will they select somebody there, or will that be part of a trade for something better, perhaps, or a veteran, or whatever the case may be? That's really the only drama I think we have here as Spurs fans. Now, Pledge just sent me something. And a lot of people were wondering why Cooper Flagg didn't stay at Duke for another year. I mean, the guy was making, $11 million a year, something like that, ridiculous. He was making a lot of money. I don't remember the exact amount that he was making. But this might answer that question. If Cooper Flagg becomes what we believe he can become, a superstar, the financial path forward for him is unbelievable. All right, these numbers are astronomical. His rookie contract from 25 to 28, he's going to make $62.7 million. All right? So that's a start. You say, okay, well, that's not so much. 29 to 33 with a 30% Supermax extension, Cooper Flagg will be making somewhere in the neighborhood of $359 million. All right, so that's his first, 8 years in the league. If he gets another Supermax extension from 2034 to 2038, $509 million. You add all of that up, by the time Cooper Flagg is 31 years old, he will have made $930 million.
In the state of Texas.
And living in the state of Texas. Victor Wembanyama's numbers are not far off of that path. So he's going to be close to being a billionaire, and he will be a billionaire, obviously, if he makes $930 million by the time he's 31 years old. Now, I just saw something a few minutes ago that just came up. When you look at Cooper Flagg tonight, when he's drafted number 1 by the Dallas Mavericks, and he walks up on the stage, the suit he is wearing, he got for free. He just signed a deal. Don't have any numbers on it, but he just signed a deal with Boss. I guess that's Hugo Boss, the fashion company. So the suit he has on tonight is from them. got it for free, and he's going to be obviously getting a lot of stuff from them for free and a lot of money as well. So he's already signed his first big deal. He's not even officially drafted just yet. But that is mind-boggling. $930 million this young man is going to make by the time he's 31 years old in the NBA. That is just mind-blowing. So, but it's not just him. Obviously, Wemby is going to be close to that. And just think about the number one picks from here on out and the amounts of money that they are going to make if they are successful. And all comes with that. And everybody, we all seem to think Cooper Flagg's going to be successful. So there's no reason not to think that he will make the $930 million or in that neighborhood somewhere along the line. Those numbers are just unbelievable. and what's funny about that, Pledge, is the fact that all we heard was the NBA Finals the ratings were horrible. Nobody was watching. It was just
awful. It was
awful.
the most watched finals game in 6 years.
Well, Game 7 was. But, yeah, I heard pundits all over the place and talking heads on ESPN and wherever else. Oh, the game, it's down. You see tweets with that going on, that the numbers are down and nobody's watching. It's obviously not true, or the TV partners don't think it's true, because the only way Cooper Flagg's making that amount of money is because of the TV partners, or a big reason for that is that. And the rest of the money, look, the money in the NBA is outlandish. And then you look at Major League Baseball with the salaries those guys get, some of them, and you wonder how. Because all I hear, baseball is boring to watch on TV. Well, it must not be, and there must be a hell of a lot of people doing it, because the numbers and the salaries that those guys make are just off the chart. It's mind-blowing. It's not even monopoly money anymore. I mean, it's like money that's just, it just appears out of the clear blue sky. It's unreal. And again, when you see a guy like Dak Prescott making $60 million a year and $240 million, and he's made over $400 million, or he will once the end of this contract goes. And other guys are doing the same thing. And it's just unbelievable, the amounts of money that are being paid to these athletes.
The problem for me is I see the money that, whether it's baseball or whether it is basketball, and I see what those players are making per year on their contracts. And then I look at football, and that money's not the same, even quarterback money. It's like, football is the most popular sport in America. You would think they would be the highest paid athlete.
Well, the difference is there's more of them. I mean, you talk about NBA, you've got, 12 guys on a roster. So, and then the NFL's got 54 or whatever they have, plus practice squad guys and all that. So, there's more guys to pay in the NFL, and I think that's why you see that. So they've got to spread that amount of money. It's still the same amount of money, and probably more, but it just has to be spread out among so many other guys. And so I think that's the problem. In the NBA, you've got your superstars. I mean, even guys that aren't superstars are making $20 million a year.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And I talk about Cam Johnson all the time. Now, Cam Johnson is not a household name unless you're a basketball geek, right? You know who he is, you know what he can do, and you know what his potential. He's making $20 million a year.
Devin Vassell's making 30.
Devin Vassell making 30. I think Keldon Johnson's 24? Something in that neighborhood.
20.
So, 20. Okay. So, there you go. It's just the money is astronomical. And it's unbelievable.
But
hey,
news from Shams Charania here.
What you got?
The New York Knicks, I was unaware that they still haven't filled their head coaching vacancy until just right now.
Wow.
Completely forgotten. They still don't have a head coach. They are planning to interview New Orleans Pelicans associate coach James Borrego, former San Antonio Spurs assistant, for their head coach opening. He will join Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins as their formal interviews.
James Borrego is one of the smartest guys I've ever met. And I mean that sincerely. And met Mike Brown, too. I'm not saying he's not smart, because he is. He's a great guy. But James Borrego is one of those guys, just a nice guy, who started, by the way, in the Spurs film room and just worked his way up, kind of like Mitch Johnson, same way. But it's interesting. Borrego is basketball intelligent. He reminds me, honestly, a lot of a Greg Popovich, who's got that basketball mind, but he's also involved in other things, outside the world of basketball. I think Borrego would be a great hire there. It wouldn't be a sexy pick, and I'm not sure Knick fans would be happy about it, but he would be a great fit there, I think, and would do a great job with the New York Knicks. So interesting, going into the NBA draft and you don't have a head coach. I mean, that's got to be kind of putting you on your heels a little bit, I would think. My goodness. I hope the head coach is happy with whoever the hell they draft, because he gets no say-so.
Well, I'm not sure they have any draft picks to use.
Well,
they gave them all up last year for Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, they fire. The Knicks are a clown show. I mean, they are. They're a complete clown show. You fire a guy who's one of the best coaches in the NBA, and you don't have a plan to replace him.
Their
and now
plan
Mike Brown
was to steal somebody else's head coach, and that they were going to let them steal them.
So think about it. If you're Mike Brown or James Borrego or Zach Taylor, I mean, do you really? I guess you don't care. If you get a job, you're going to be making a lot of money, and you're fine. You're going to have an opportunity. Right. But it's like they didn't want you. they did not. They wanted Jason Kidd. And thought that they could just go and steal him because we're the big bad New York Knicks and everybody wants to come here. No, not necessarily. Although Kidd may have wanted to, but he wasn't allowed to go there because he's under contract to the Dallas Mavericks. I'm pulling for Borrego. I really am. Nothing against Mike Brown. Love that guy. But he's had an opportunity, and Borrego has too. He had one opportunity.
Well, and the good news is, instead of in Charlotte where he walked into a bleep show, he is at least going into a very competitive roster with the New York Knicks and an instant ability to compete, which he didn't have with his first go-around.
From a bleep show to a clown show. Congratulations, James Borrego. You win today. You get front row tickets to the circus. It'll be interesting to see who they pick there, and they got to do that pretty soon, right? I mean, you would think, if not for the draft, and if they're not sure what their draft status is, to
for
be
free
totally
agency
honest with you.
at least.
Free agency. So that's June 30th. That's less than a week away. So you got to get somebody in there for that if you're going to be a player in that. And I find it funny, Pledge, that every time something comes up, it was Kevin Durant or Giannis. Anytime one of these big stars comes, the Knicks, they're interested in. With what? I mean, with what? They got nothing to bargain with. And it's like, but we're the big bad Knicks. We're them. It's just crazy the way
Knicks
things
and the
work
Lakers.
out. Yeah. Well, at least the Lakers have a piece or two that maybe they could trade away, but they don't have anything more than that.
Anthony Davis and a first-round pick? Is that worth the Luka Doncic?
No. Well, I don't know. No, it's not. But I guess you could.
But it was.
I wouldn't have made that deal. But I think Nico Harrison didn't have a choice in that matter. He was just told to get rid of Doncic and let it go. So I don't know what's going to happen.
There's another organization that tells them to let it go, so you can just be like, here's Karl Anthony Towns and a future first.
That's why I thought the Spurs were genius to put out some ridiculous thing. If you want the number 2 pick, it's going to take this. Because you just never know when somebody might say, okay, we really like Dylan Harper, and we'll give up all of that for him. And if you're the Spurs, you say, congratulations, you got him. So I thought it was genius, and nobody obviously took it, at least that we know of yet. But I thought it was great that the Spurs did that. And they put something out there that executives were calling absolutely ridiculous, but you never know until you dangle it out there whether somebody's going to bite on that hook or not. So that's that. We're going to take a break. We're here at the Roo Pub. 281 in Redland Road. It is steak night. It is draft night. It is Wednesday. You don't need an excuse to get down to the Roo Pub. Any day that ends in Y is a great place. But tonight, it is steak night, and it's a great deal. $20 for a ribeye steak, and I mean a big one and a delicious one, by the way. You ought to get down here, have that. You'll make a habit to be in here every Wednesday night for steak night. That is for sure. Come on down to the Roo Pub, watch the draft with us. When we continue, I know I teased earlier Kendrick Perkins talking about Cooper Flagg and how he might have been made. And LeBron James credits a former Spur for motivating his kids. We're going to talk about all of that. We'll wrap things up, get you ready for the draft coming up, and we'll do that all when we continue here from the Roo Pub on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, draft day come and gone. Let's talk about the Spurs haul. We're only halfway done. There is a day two. We'll look at where they're headed in that direction and around the rest of the league. But to start early, you got to get here. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can also text bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or online mybestbailbonds.com.
Help UTSA football make history. Pack the Dome for the Battle of I-35 on September 6th. From now until June 26th, tickets to the Texas State game are 35% off. The Roadrunners are looking to break the all-time home attendance record of 56,743 fans set in the inaugural game in 2011. Be there. Visit goutsa.com/tickets or call 210-458-8872 to take advantage of this 35% offer. Be part of history. Birds up.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Out here, you get your hands dirty. You get to work and finish the long summer day knowing you made it count. Whether it's cutting the grass, picking the garden, firing up the grill, or washing your dog, you get things done. It's the small stuff that adds up to this life you love. At Tractor Supply, we know that feeling. And we've got the supplies and friendly advice you need to get the most out of every day, all summer long. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Being arrested isn't just a setback. It's a nightmare that can destroy your life and reputation. At Barton & Associates, we're here to make sure your one bad night doesn't turn into a lifetime of regret. Contact Barton & Associates today at texasarrest.com. That's texasarrest.com.
Vacation mode? Check. Don't forget your furry friend. Bluebonnet Bunk and Biscuit in Selma offers daycare, boarding, grooming, and more. Discounts for military, teachers, and first responders. Bluebonnet Bunk and Biscuit, where pets play, stay, and feel at home.
Oh, it is hump day here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. What a day it's been. A lot of excitement as we lead up.
It is.
As we lead up to the draft that is coming up here in about an hour and 15 minutes or so, give or take. Spurs, the first two picks pretty much done. Duke blew it for me because they sent out a tweet, said, "Congratulations, Dallas Mavericks, on Cooper Flagg." For goodness sake, the excitement just went out the window. And then it's Dylan Harper who's going to be taking number 2 from the Spurs, and then the draft begins after that. I guess for Spurs fans, the only drama potentially is that 14th pick and what they're going to do with that. Going to be interesting to see if they keep it, if they draft somebody in that spot, or do they use it as trade bait and trade it away, or draft somebody and then we find out tomorrow or the next day that they've traded away or that was actually a draft pick for somebody else. So we'll wait and see what happens with all of that. Cooper Flagg, though, is the guy. Right, he's the number 1 pick, and Jay Billis came out. We had not an argument, but a discussion, Pledge and I, earlier today about Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper. And I'd heard some people say 1A, 1B, and you know, maybe they were a lot closer to being kind of the same guy, the same prospect at least. Going into this draft, Billis it just came out like he was listening to us, and he said, "No, there's no question. Cooper Flagg is the guy. He is the number 1 prospect. There is no argument there. And Dylan Harper is the second guy. That's just the way that it is. That's Jay Billis talking, and I tend to believe that. But Dylan Harper with a lot of a lot of potential for sure. The guy's a very talented guy. There's no question about it. When we're talking about Cooper Flagg, the skills that this guy possesses, and you wonder, how does a guy like that get to be the player that he is? I mean, you could say the same thing about Wemby or LeBron James or anybody like that that's got super talent and can play and compete and do the things that they can do. Well, Kendrick Perkins, I think he knows exactly how Cooper Flagg came to be.
This is how I look at Cooper Flagg. If LeBron James and Kevin Garnett had a baby, you get Cooper Flagg. And why I say that is because when you think about LeBron James, you think of a complete basketball player, right? Jay, you just ran off the stats. He led the team in everything. That's a LeBron James type thing. And you talked about his passion, his tenacity. I'm watching KG all over again, the way that he plays with a high level. We don't give players enough credit like Cooper Flagg. I think it's a skill to have a high motor like he has. Mm-hmm. And you talk about his competitive nature and saying this is one of the most competitive guys over the last 20 years. It is, because most guys in high school nowadays, they reclass and go the other way. Right. He reclassed up. So he's running up the chimney looking for the smoke. And I love everything about this young man. I love how humble he is. I love how low maintenance he is and how hard working he is. And he's a generational talent.
Well, I don't think anybody will argue with that. And he did say if. I was thinking he was going to say, well, LeBron James and Kevin Garnett had a baby and it was Cooper Flagg. I guess that's impossible Maybe these days, who knows? But it's kind of interesting, I guess, and I understand where he's coming from with that. I'm not sure that I think it's a pretty good way to put it. I don't have a problem with it. Some people do, but he's got talents and skills similar to both of those guys. And a lot of people, Kevin Garnett was a great player. I used to love the battles between Garnett and Tim Duncan. I mean, they were phenomenal. You know, most of the time I would have to say Tim Duncan won, but Kevin Garnett every now and then would get the best of old Timmy. But it was a great battle anytime those guys got together. So I understand what he's saying, that the skills that Cooper Flagg has are a mixture of LeBron and Kevin Garnett. Again, I'm not a big fan of comparing players to other players. I just don't think that And we do it because you want to try and say, okay, well, he reminds me of this guy, reminds me of that guy, and I understand why people do it. I'm just not a big fan of it, but that's the way it is. Cooper Flagg, just being able to watch that young man play in person was something else. I mean, it was really something else. It's almost like he has eyes in the back of his head, and I say that because he would find his teammates when you thought they were unfindable. And it was pretty cool. So Dallas getting a guy that certainly has the potential to be a superstar in the NBA, no doubt about it. And the Spurs getting a guy who comes in with a lot of hype in Dylan Harper and a lot of talent, no question about it. It's just kind of the same guys that they already have, in my opinion, in De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle. So we'll see how all of those guys mix. Apparently, if you're the Spurs and a lot of other people, you're thinking this guy's just too talented to pass up. We'll figure it out, and I'm sure that's what they're saying. Now, we're talking a lot about teams that are making some moves. We've heard Utah came out and said they're ready to have a garage sale. Lauri Markkanen, Collins, there are a couple other players in there that are gettable. Chicago came out earlier today saying they'd be willing to make some moves. Brooklyn has done the same thing. Philadelphia, we know, is interested in that as well. Oklahoma City, there was a report today that they could possibly go out and try to move into the top 10 of tonight's draft. Think about that. And I love that. I love that. To me, Sam Presti's the best general manager in the NBA right now. You can't convince me otherwise. He is the best general manager in the NBA, and I don't think it's even close. He's the Cooper Flagg in this draft. He's the best. I don't think there's any question. For them to be thinking about going out after just having a parade yesterday for winning an NBA championship and saying, you know what? We need to improve. We need to get better. We are going to make a deal. We're going to try to get into the top 10 of this year's draft. That, to me, is incredible, and I love it. I love that mindset that you always want to get better, and it doesn't matter what you just did. It's about looking forward and what you can be. Boston's another team that looks like they could be had. Some of their players, Jaylen Brown's been mentioned. Derrick White has been mentioned. And I said, look, I'd love to have Derrick White back on the Spurs roster because to me, he fits a couple of needs. Number one, he's a shooter and a damn good one. And the second thing is he plays defense. I would love to have that guy. And it's not just that. He is a good guy. We know that here in San Antonio because we dealt with him. We know what he's like. He's a hell of a nice guy. But LeBron James told a story on his podcast that he does with Steve Nash. And I want you to listen to this. He uses Derrick White to motivate his kids.
I'll tell you who this guy is after I read this. Unranked in high school, 0 D1 scholarship offers, played 3 years of Division II basketball at UCCS.
I know who it is.
Transferred to Colorado, and now is an NBA champion.
Hell of a
one of the best
player.
teams in the NBA. That guy's Derrick White.
Hell of a player.
Hell of a player. And my message was to them, everybody's road to success is different. So stay locked in and patient. That was my message to my boys last year.
Message.
I love that. And I love that. The LeBron James using Derrick White's story to motivate his kids and to tell them to just stay locked in. I love that. And I love it for Derrick White. If you're Derrick White and you heard that, you got to be thinking, man, this what a compliment. I mean, what a compliment. But think about it. Derrick White worked his ass off to become the player that he has become. Because, look, he wasn't as good as in San Antonio as he is now. He wasn't. He was a good player, but he wasn't near the shooter that he is now when he was here in San Antonio. He could always play defense. Defense was always something he was very good at, but he wasn't the shooter that he's become with the Boston Celtics. And to hear LeBron James say that about Derrick White is just is awesome to me. And Derrick White's got to feel great about that. And I will say it now, and I'll say it till the cows come home. I would love to have Derrick White back in a San Antonio Spurs uniform. And if he's being dangled out there, I would certainly at least give Boston a call and say, what would it take to have D. White back in San Antonio? I would love that. And then there's Jaylen Brown, the other guy that is there, the one of the stars, obviously, of the Boston Celtics. What would it take to get him? I mean, you got to make a call, don't you? You got to make a call and say, what would it take? And I think it's just like the Spurs did with Kevin Durant. And I think it's just like the Spurs did with Giannis, who is still open-minded to leaving Milwaukee. A solid report today. Milwaukee is preparing that Giannis is going to stay there, but I'm not so sure. What would it take? And I think you're not doing your job if you're not at least making that phone call and saying, look, what would it take to do it? It may be too expensive for us to do it, but I want to know what the price is. You go into a store, you look at the price tag and say, oh, I don't want to pay that much for that shirt, so I'll let it go. But at least you know what the price is and whether you can afford it or not. And I think the Spurs are in a position now with the draft capital that they have, with some of the players that they have, that I think they would be willing to part with if the price was right, that you got to make the phone call. You absolutely have to make the phone call. Lauri Markkanen. I know Pledge is a big fan of Lauri Markkanen.
Huge
if
fan.
he's available, the Spurs have always had a flirtatious relationship with Lauri Markkanen, if that's appropriate to say. But they have. And if they can get him now and get him a little bit cheaper than what they could have gotten him before, you got to kick the tires, don't you?
I would hope so, at least just to find out what the cost is going to be.
Yep.
Because if they're trying to blow it up and it's cheaper than it's ever been, at least check in on the price of what that item is. Now, knowing what they did with Kevin Durant and other potential buys, it may be too much for them. But you got to at least check and see, because you might be able to end up with a deal like you did for De'Aaron Fox.
You very well could, and which was a hell of a deal for the Spurs. They've got to extend him, and that's coming up. I think that, not sure of the dates. I know it's either late July or August before they can actually do it. In August, before they can do
that. It's
that.
about the same timeline as Markkanen's was last year.
All right, fair enough.
And that's my main question, though. Knowing that you got to pay Wemby, knowing you got to pay Castle the year after that, knowing Fox is up this year, do you bring in that much money on your books with a Lauri Markkanen? Because we've seen like what Boston is doing with these second apron taxes that are just, they almost seem untenable for NBA owners.
Look, the Spurs, if they're anything, they want to build a contender for years to come. I mean, that's the intent, right? I mean, I think we can all agree on that. So a Lauri Markkanen would do that. You already know what he's getting paid because his contract's there. Yes, it's a lot of money. A Cam Johnson from Brooklyn, his contract's the next 3 years. You know what it is, and if you decide to bring him in, it's about half as much as Lauri Markkanen. So all of those things play into it. If you're going to extend Fox, and then you've got to extend Wemby. And that's gonna be coming up, and then you got to look down the road. I mean, you know, it won't be long until we're talking about Steph Castle. So I mean, all of these things come into it. But look, that's what you got to do. And again, in the NBA these days, dynasties are a thing of the past, as far as I'm concerned. Now I look at Oklahoma City and what they're trying to do and getting better. You know, maybe they're the exception to the rule. But dynasties right now are a thing of the past because we've all thought anybody that wins a championship is going to be the next, and it hasn't turned out to be that way, at least recent over the last 10 years.
I was saying,
You've only
let's
had
let
one-
them get a second first. They almost didn't get a first.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you can't be afraid of Big Bad Oklahoma City and just assume that they're going to be the champion for the next 3 or 4 years. You can't do that. You got to go out and compete against those guys and get it done. What do the Spurs do with that 14th pick? Is there any drama coming up in the NBA draft? We are about to find out. And we're going to do it right here at the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road. Come on out, get your table, get ready, get a cold beer or a cold drink, whatever it is you want, and a steak. It's steak night here at the Roo Pub. That's where we're at. Come on out and join us. The draft is about to happen. You can listen to it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The fellas in the morning will get you started at 6 o'clock. Rob and AJ of the Morning Huddle. But coming up next, our own James Pledger. Extra Innings with Pledge is next. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Guys, summer is here. Time for gatherings, time with friends, family, activities.